Yo, just when you thought it was safe to do a mock-up, the
Seeing
US
it.
factories go and actually make it with the mock-up tag on it. It's bad. It's bad.
Hey, episode 53 is back, guys. And bro, let's just be honest, bro. We seen that from the UAs before. We see the House of Heat label on the back of that panel. We see the Z Sneakerheads was laughing at that yesterday, bro. He was like, they even did my signature and my at, bro. That's a You know what? The UA people should be charging these Instagrammers for that kind of marketing.
No, because soon as they get ready to try to start charging, guess what's gonna happen to them? Lawsuit.
Lawsuit. Cha-ching, lawsuit. Cha-ching,
Hell,
lawsuit.
bro, how they gonna charge and they making fake shoes, bro? Like you can't charge nobody nothing. You better just
This
make
is
everything you can make.
this is why it's some dumb for goofy shirt.
Boy, oof. I mean, that's so goofy, dog. Like that's maybe only the second time we seen that, right? Only second time I saw it.
Yeah, this is the second time. First time was a House of Heat. Bro, this is just jokes because shall we do a social experiment? I'm down for doing this social experiment where we put up a mock-up of a sneaker that we say is gonna come out in 2024. And let's just see if these UA people kind of replicate it for our logo at the back of it, bro. Let's be number 3.
Well, we'll have to have a super large following like House of Heat or Z Sneakerhead for it to actually come to fruition, though.
Yo, you know
UA
what?
people, they only follow the biggest, mock-up creators.
Yeah, true. But we can stir up the smoke, bring up the fire, get these people to let's get them on our side and let's do this. It would be just funny. Let's troll the UAs. Just make UAs more UAs like they used to be back in the day.
That's similar. That's kind of similar to the one idea we had before about you, about Nike, when you came up with the idea about Nike actually putting out fake mock-ups.
Yeah. Put as many fake mock-ups and all of a sudden switch it right at the end and all of a sudden they can't catch up because it'll be such a fast... Bro, you could have a specialized team. You could even do it through Z Sneakerheads. You could even do it through all the influencers. Put out mock-ups that don't look like the sneaker, that have little variation change from the sneaker. Like the upper could be a different color. The green could be a different shade. You could instead of being pine green, it could be like a forest green or something different. And all of a sudden, right at the end, switch it up. Bang! There you go. This is what you're gonna get. And then it doesn't even need to be. It doesn't even need to be like 2 weeks out. It could be a week out because everybody knows what it's going to be about. And then all of a sudden, bang! You're being caught out. You've been left with your pants down. Nobody's buying that, bro.
No, obviously that was supposed to be like a gorge green.
Yeah.
The one that they made, the green was wrong, and instead of the jewel wings logo, it was the patch wings logo. So it was just all bad, bro.
It was all bad. And talking about talking about having your pants down. Did you see this week on I think Nice Kicks put it up, but this is quite funny. Nice Kicks put up a post which was kind of had me in stitches yesterday. Somebody stuffed their tidy whities in a pair of Jordan 14s.
Yeah.
Talk about having your pants down, bro.
So they posted a retread of that because it was a post on Twitter where the guy, bought the shoes secondhand from eBay, I think.
Yeah.
And the person who actually sold him the sneakers saw that and apologized and said,
"Yeah, I saw that. I saw that." And he's meant to take him out. But did those sneakers get authenticated?
He was probably yeah. They got authenticated. We don't know if they got authenticated. So look,
I'm laughing here, bro.
I'm guessing they didn't get authenticated. They was probably less than $100, so they didn't get authenticated because we didn't see an eBay tag on that post.
Okay, cool.
Because the eBay card, we didn't see the the bag that they give you. the blue bag, but the guy probably had him stuffed for himself like that. He couldn't find, any loose paper,
Paper, yeah, yeah,
newspaper.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
he just stuffed him with whatever he had close to him, and he meant to change it out before he shipped them, but he forgot. He forgot
Bro,
what he had him stuffed with.
imagine, right, that you listed that product as a Jordan 14 tidy whities or a Jordan 14 underpants. Yo, imagine you're the validator or a legit checker for that sneaker, and you open that box up and take the paper out. What are you doing, bro? What's your first reaction to that?
You know what? And the more I think about it, the more I'm willing to bet that they were not authenticated, because not too many people rock with 14s.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the price was probably pretty low. It looked like an older pair of 14s. I don't even know that colorway of the 14, but the 14 wave was years and years ago when people
Yep.
were actually buying 14s on the regular. Like, we only had maybe 5-6 pairs of 14s in the past 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
So yeah,
Well,
it was probably less than 100.
yeah, it just goes to show that before the last dance, the 14 last shot actually was on sale. So
Exactly.
that goes to show what the wave of the 14 was before, and now it's picked up slightly, but I think it's gone back down to where it was before.
Yeah.
But guys, just before we carry on the podcast, please do like, follow, subscribe, come and chat to us. Let's have a conversation. Let's break it down on the podcast, guys. Check out the Shudo podcast. Check out the channel Love Kick Custom. Check out the channel 808 Kicks ATL on YouTube, on Instagram, on all the social platforms, and also we're on all the audio channels as well, from like Apple Podcasts, Audible, Google Podcasts, everywhere. We are there. We're getting a lot of love, which is great. And we're getting a lot of downloads. We're getting a good response from people as well. We're on episode 53. I think episode 8 should be coming up today. On the time of recording. But yes, just go over and check it out, guys. We're on all the channels, and some of the love was shared by the people that we know, and the people that I talk to on a regular, and the people that I don't talk to on a regular, they are really, really kind of surprised at the quality of the podcast, which I'm stunned on. We've got better over the years. I'm gonna say over the year we got better and better, but they're all loving the first early episodes, which is amazing, and we're so humbling as well, because it means a lot that all the hard work and effort we put into doing this for you guys is actually paying off, because it means that you guys are liking it, and that's the whole thing, to keep it funny, keep it quirky, and keep it interesting. That's the word, interesting, for you guys to listen to. And some of the guys loving the conversation, which is good, which is excellent, because that's what it's all about. It's not for us, it's for us to kind of just discuss the certain subject matters, and you guys are liking it, and that's the most important thing for us.
Yeah, that's the goal. You mentioned interesting. If it's not interesting, it's pointless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole point of content is to draw some type of emotion, some type of reaction. And if it's not interesting, people not going to last long enough to have that type of reaction to it.
Yeah, I'm going to also say that one thing as well is I would be interested to see if somebody's actually put like a bed like lullaby on their podcast and make people sleep through their podcast.
Hey, man,
Rock my baby.
I watch a lot of podcasts. Not a whole lot, but I watch enough podcasts to know what not to do. And
yeah,
that's the main thing, is to avoid what not to do.
I think
we do a good job of that.
Exactly. I think from my perspective, I really do feel like we doing lives on Instagram and doing lives on the platforms has actually taught us a bit before we did the podcast, because like talk live speaking, podcasting, relative speaking, audience speaking is an art. It literally is an art, and I was nervous first time I actually did it, but you get better and better the more you do it, and repetition is the key, and then you get into your kind of whole element. And I think for me and for yourself, we got into our element once we started doing the podcast more and more. I found that was the case with that. I found my YouTube videos have got better and better over the time. I'm projecting more and more confident, and I feel that the more you do something, the more you gain confidence in it. And this is why I think when we started the podcast, we've been doing Instagram stuff, and I was doing YouTube for a bit over like 6 months. So in relative terms, we had the confidence knowing that if we do develop something in the podcast, it was going to be relatively decent off the bat. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
So,
we talk so much anyway. That was the whole, the whole thing. Once we started having more extended conversations, I was like, I think I found the person to do the podcast with.
oh yeah. Just like the Instagram stories I dropped the other day, like yesterday. Was it yesterday or Thursday night? We were talking we just caught up for a little while. To talk about just random stuff. I think you called me because you picked up the Jordan 1 mid,
Yeah.
Concord. And then I said, I was driving back and I was like, yo, bro, give me a second. I'm just in the car. I'll give you a call in 20 minutes. And then I ended up pulling up my Space Jam SBs just to do a comparison. And for me, it was like, yeah, there you go. They are fire. They are actually fire. The more I look at them, the more I actually like them. But we ended up doing the comparison, right? Because it was so similar to the SB Space Jams than anything else. But yeah, just such a dope sneaker. But yeah, it's stuff like that all of a sudden we're talking about, and we're having a discussion about, and then it goes on for hours.
Yeah. But now we do it on the podcast, so we still have those conversations, but we save a lot of our opinions for the podcast. So I think that's even cooler to have, to share each other's opinions on the podcast so everybody can hear it versus just telling each other and then doing a retread once we get on the show, because I really don't like repeating myself that much.
Yeah. I think we save the juicy stuff for the podcast. I think.
Yeah. Speaking of juicy
stuff, let's go. Quick strike time.
These Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2 Valentine Day.
Yay.
Bro, this shoe is so crazy to me. Like, good crazy. Every time I saw it, every time I see it, even from just pulling it up a little while ago before we started, every time I look at it, I like it more and more. I'm not going to go for it, though.
Was it the Heritage one we got last year, which was that all white and red? Like slight touches of red on that all the way. Yeah, so that reminds me of that, but that also reminds me a bit of like a reverse Chicago, sorry. So basically the red paneling's inverse, like the way the black is normally, you got some red, where the toe is white, you get red, and then everything else is white. It kind of gives that combination vibe where the Heritage one and the Chicago one come together and had a little child called the Zoom Comfort 2.
Yeah, but the Zoom Comfort silhouette, I have one pair of Zoom Comforts. I've seen other pairs in hand. The quality on this pair, just from what I'm looking at on pictures, is way better. Like, this leather looks better, thicker cuts of leather, the tumble finish, but then the velvet, bro. The velvet on the toe, the velvet on the swoosh, and the collar. It just and the perforations on the medial side, like everything about this sneaker, except for the writing on the back, but I understand it. Bro, look at the insole with the heart on it, the tongue with the heart on it. Anytime,
this is a proper Valentine's Day sneaker. This is a proper Valentine's Day sneaker.
I think they really hit out the park on this one. Yo, the bottom, bro, with that exposed zoom.
I see that. That's a proper Valentine's Day thing. The main question everybody wants to know really is, how comfortable is a Zoom Comfort when you get the comfort on your feet to rock?
It's better than the Jordan 1, a regular Jordan 1. It is, bro. It don't matter if it's low, mid, high,
How
A5.
how many levels you talking about in comfortability? Like if you had a scale of 1 to 5, right, and 1 being absolute trash and 5 being super comfortable, like a New Balance on your feet that rock you, or a Yeezy
It's a
350
5.
Zoo. So 5, you reckon 5?
Well, see,
And,
you
okay,
when
so
you,
where does the Jordan 1 sit in that spectrum?
I
Comfort,
think
so the
for
comfort
me,
scale.
Jordan ones are about a 3. Like we know because technology is so much better, you can find a lot more sneakers that are more comfortable than the Jordan 1. But when you think about like a Vans or a Chuck Taylor or any flat bottom shoes, but Jordan 1 I think is more comfortable than most other flat bottom shoes. Like even Blazers I think are more comfortable than a lot of other flat bottom shoes.
Yep.
Zoom Comfort ones and the Zoom One highs are, I think, I'll go 4. I'll say they're one level above the comfort, not on a level of a Air Max or well, I'll just say Air Max One because I think Air Max Ones are more comfortable than 95s. I wouldn't say it's as comfortable as a Vapor Max or anything like that. Probably not as comfortable as a Yeezy, obviously with the boost, and not probably not as comfortable. Well, yeah, I would say they're as comfortable as a Croc.
Okay, cool. This is the new our new Buttercup shoe dog comfort scale.
Yeah, I would say they're as comfortable as a Croc
Yeah,
in my opinion. But
I'm gonna tell you my okay, cool. There's these 3 spectrums of a Jordan 1 in comfortability. If you want to wear it for short periods of time, I think it's a 3. If you wanna walk around with it for a short period of time, I think it's a 2.5. If you want to wear it constantly for hours, it's a 1.5 to a 2. It gets really uncomfortable really quickly if you walk long distances than in the Jordan 1. So that's my retrospect. I want to see how much the comfort Zoom or Zoom 2 actually is. For me, the most comfortable sneaker I've worn is a Wave Runner. I think that's on probably on par with a 4. And I think anything above that is super comfortable. So I think that's my comfort zones. I do believe that if you want to rock a Jordan 1, I think 13s are for I think 13s, even maybe
yeah,
12s
12s.
are
Yeah.
12s and 13s are like 4.5. But like I just want to kind of deal with the comfort zones of the comfort zones vary. If you're going for short periods of time, you want to rock a Jordan 1, rock a Jordan 1. If you are going to walk long distances, wear a comfortable sneaker. If a comfort Zoom 2 is like a 4, and that's a massive upgrade to wearing a Jordan 1.
Well, I rocked Jordan ones walking the streets in New York late last year, and I didn't have no problems, bro. Like Jordan ones are comfortable for me. Maybe it's just my foot,
Yeah.
but I see a lot of people complaining about the comfort of ones, but I see a lot of people wearing ones too. A lot of people wearing Blazers and Air Force ones. You, I think it's a person to person thing. For me,
Yeah.
Jordan ones are all day comfortable. Sure, after a while, for as far as what I have in my collection, most shoes end up being uncomfortable, with probably I'll say the exception of a Vapor Max.
Yep.
But any other shoe with just Air or Zoom, like you said, 12s and 13s, we know they got Zoom.
Yep. Comfortable.
They get uncomfortable after a certain amount of hours. You
Yeah.
just want to take your foot out. It's not necessarily about the shoe, the comfort of the shoe being bad. You just want to take your foot out the shoe.
Yeah, but that's because of the friction with your palm of your feet. Because basically, if you wear something, if you wear something sturdy and rigid on the palm of your feet, it's always going to start chafing. It's always going to start compressing, and then you want to just take your feet out. That's what comes from it. Because you're not supposed to be walking around for long distances, especially with sneakers on constantly. So that comes with that range anyway. But in terms of just the sneakers themselves, I do believe everybody loves different sneakers. Everybody loves different kind of silhouettes. Everybody has a different kind of interaction with Jordans and any other sneaker. So some people find them comfortable, some people don't find them comfortable. It depends on the person themselves and the foot attributes and how they wear them. And I think that goes a long way, because when you do a review, I don't like talking about if it's true to size or if it's comfortable, because my true to size is different to somebody else's true to size, and
Exactly.
my comfortability is different to somebody else's comfortability. So when somebody requests a question to me like, are they comfortable, are they true to size, my first instinct is they are to me, but you need to go and try them on and wear them and see how they fit for you. And that's my kind of advice to anybody that's looking to get into a certain silhouette that they don't know about. Get a cheap model, try it on, wear it, and then basically see how it fits. And if you do like it, go for it. That's a very, very, very important thing to kind of understand. And like, I'm gonna give you an example. Wearing a Jordan 3 the other day, bro. I'm so glad the Jordan 3's actually gone back to true to size, because that tab rips into the back heel, my back Achilles, bro. That I
Always
was
say that,
bleeding.
bro. I've never had that happen.
I had it the other day. I actually was wearing white socks with my Jordan 3's, and it cut my. I was on the Tinker 3's as well. Let me kind of bring them out. Hold on, do this.
I've seen people make posts about it and talk about it a lot with 3s and 4s. That has never ever happened to me. I've never felt the back tab on my ankle at all.
So I'm gonna show you, bro. Sorry, I'm gonna show you, bro. Look at the back. See. So I had to wipe it off a bit, but you can hardly see it. Right there is
Yeah,
that there is where I was cutting. But the thing is, the heel tab on that, it sits higher than slightly higher than the
bro.
actual
I
sneaker.
got
So
I got Tinker 3s too. It's
yeah, I don't know
never
why.
happened to me.
I don't know why it just happens to me, and every time I wear it, then what I kind of realize is a bit of advice for anybody that's wearing it that actually kind of ends up cutting their feet at the back with the back tabs. What I recommend you do is put a plaster over your actual Achilles at the back heel. So when you wear it, and that rubbing that causes from that actual panel stops, it doesn't happen. So you can also buy stuff that actually helps you prevent that, so that you can actually put it at the back of your heel. Because I love these Tinker Frees, and I'm not going to stop wearing them, but there's techniques of putting some protection on the back of your feet to actually stop that rubbing from happening. It doesn't happen with Jordan 4s. It happened with certain Jordan 3s, and I'm glad that they reduced like the. If you see the Tinker 3s at the back, that tab sits higher, so every time I walk, it compresses into that, and it kind of bites into the back of my foot. So from that aspect, I would say I'm so glad that Jordan 3s have actually gone back to OG, because the tab sits lower, and it don't happen with the newer sneakers, but it happens with the older ones that where the tab sits higher than the back leather panel, and it does cut. And I really forgot that it does happen with the Tinker 3s. So next time I wear anything like an old retro, or like a 2015 onwards retro of a Jordan 3, I'm definitely going to put like tape on, especially with the older versions. The newer versions, they're fine. The older versions, it just hurt me.
I don't know. I don't understand how that happened. It ain't never happened to me.
But bro, what they say? What do they normally say? Pain is beauty. Beauty is pain. You got to go through it.
No,
Be a
I ain't
soldier.
going through that. I ain't going through none of that. Next topic. I know we both wanted to talk about this. Dior 3D printed boots, bro.
Okay.
What is this? Why is this?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. Is it a fad thing? Is it something that they're actually doing just because they? I'll share my screen as well, guys. If you listen to this, go and check out the Dior 3D printed sneakers, because I'm fascinated, because I know Adidas have tried it, and they don't they call it 4D sneakers?
Yeah, they do it on midsoles. They don't do it on the
Yeah.
actual uppers. This is a fully 3D printed weave. I don't know if it looks rubbery. Actually, you know what? I had a pair of work shoes, steel toe work shoes that had rubber, like a rubber coating that kind of resembled this, but this appears to be a fully 3D
Look at that.
printed,
Look at
weave.
that, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's see through. You know,
Yeah.
it's the outsole, not the outsole, rather the midsole and the uppers are 100%
Is it
3D
is it
printed.
really is it really a sneaker, or is it a more
No,
of
it's a
a
boot.
it's I know it's a boot, but can you classify it as a boot? Can you classify it as,
Yeah,
because there's no water retention on that, bro. Like if it rains, it's going through.
that don't mean it's not a boot.
Is this is the same realm for me as like a foam runner? It's one cost to me like
I wouldn't go there. I think it's a boot. It looks like a low top boot. Looks like a
yeah.
low top Timberland.
You
I mean,
know
it's a shoe. We just call it a
I
shoe.
you call it shoe, but I want to know what the materials are made of, because if I'm honest, bro, the Adidas 4D print sneakers, the midsole's hard. The midsole's uncomfortable. I've heard a lot of people that wear that 4D. I don't know. I haven't actually worn it myself because I've stayed away from it. But I've heard the midsole is uncomfortable, bro. The materials that use the midsole are uncomfortable. They have to. I know some companies or some Adidas shops, you can actually go in and put your footprint down, and they actually work out the pressure zones, and they actually cast it to the 4D print to the pressure zones for performance athletes, and that actually feels a bit more comfortable. But I heard straight off from buying it like that, they were uncomfortable. So
And
this
they keep making
Dior,
them.
yeah, no, they keep making them, but why do you not? Why do you think they're not as popular? But I want to know what materials it's actually made with, and what materials is actually kind of produced with, and how comfortable it is, how cushioning it is. If that's stiff, that's like a brick on your feet, bro.
Well, see, with the as far as the Adidas 4D, I've seen a lot of people have them on foot, and I've asked some people, and they say that the people that I've seen wearing them consistent, like I see guys wearing them at work, and
Yeah.
they say they're comfortable. So
Okay.
you have to take a person's word for it. I have also online, like you've seen, people saying they're not comfortable. So
No.
that
Yeah.
goes back to a part of the previous conversation where comfort is a person to person thing. It's a foot to foot thing. Some
Yeah. Yeah.
people, look, I got a couple pairs where it's one pair of shoes, but the left shoe feels different from the right shoe, but it's the exact same shoe. It feels
Just like
better on my left foot than my right. 13s are like that for me. For some reason, 13s feel different from the left shoe and the right shoe. I don't
and
know why, but that's every pair of 13s that I have feel like that.
And you know what is really interesting? My Tinker Freeze that I just showed with the back tab with the blood on it. Literally, my left side doesn't do it. My right side does it.
Right. So as far as comfort is concerned, I don't think that really applies to this. But we know people, like you just said, people will take that pain for the flex, right? A lot of
Yep, yep,
people
yep.
wear shoes that they feel are uncomfortable, but they'll wear it for the flex. And that's, I think, is what's going to happen with these, because people that dress professionally every day, some people stick with traditional hard bottoms and wingtips and whatnot, but then some people go the Cohan route. Cohan makes dress shoes made from the same materials that sneaker companies use. They got
Yep.
the rubber bottoms, they got mesh uppers and stuff like that. So if I was a person that had a job that dressed where I had to dress professionally every day, wearing suits and button ups and slacks and stuff, I would wear Cohans.
Yep, yep, yep.
Like, I hate hard bottom shoes. If I was into high fashion, I don't know if I would wear many of these high fashion shoes because they look, and from what we hear when I watch these sneaker shows and these celebrities get on there, the one show in particular, when they ask about regrettable purchases, most of the time it's a high fashion shoe because it's
Yeah.
not comfortable.
I noticed that. I don't even know the price of this. I'm actually trying to productively work out for the price of this, because I know 3D printing is quite expensive. I know this is why the Adidas 3D printing. Well, it's getting cheaper and cheaper. The more with everything in terms of technology, the more you mass produce it, the more cheaper it becomes because the more effective it becomes. So I knew the Adidas 4D sneakers were actually quite expensive when they first released, but they kind of reduced down in price because you fine tune the manufacturing process, and all of a sudden the prices drop down. Just like the prime example is the Earl Nike Adapt sneakers when they
Hmm.
first came out, they were ridiculous price. Now Adapt 11s were quite reasonable in terms of the resale, or in terms of the retail. But yeah, I'm pretty sure 4D printing is quite, or 3D printing is quite expensive and quite laborious, and you can't get as many units out because it takes 24 hours to maybe a couple of days to print that sneaker, then to kind of take it off the actual print to actually modify it to make it look like it is at the moment. So it takes a lot of time and effort to get to that process. And I've actually looked at 3D printing myself, not sneakers, but just in terms of different concepts and different designs and different logos. It's quite a hard work, bro, to get that right, to get that absolutely spot on. So I
Well,
would want to know how much this costs, because yo, bro, it's
sci-
gonna be crazy.
scientifically and mathematically, I think is where most of the work goes in on 3D printing, because it's the machine that's actually doing the work. And we know
Um,
since 3D printing, see, that's a boot right there.
yeah,
But
we're just showing you that your build. This is a high top. Basically, this will be uncomfortable. I'm gonna say this. I think this is going to be uncomfortable.
Tims are uncomfortable.
But Tim's have got inner lining. Tim's have got some
You
kind
can,
of
bro, you can put an insole on anything.
Yep.
You can buy high end insoles that have more cushioning than the actual shoe and make it more comfortable. People do that all the time. My partner E came over here yesterday, and he had some separation on a pair of laser fours,
Hmm.
and he wanted my help fixing it. And so when he took them out the box, I'm like, bro, this ain't the insole that come in this shoe. He's like, I know, that's my insole, because he's flat footed. So he
Yeah.
uses insoles in all his every shoe that he wears.
Oh,
He replaces the insole
yeah.
for a more comfortable one.
She's got a specialized insole. So basically,
Yeah,
he only has one. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but the point I was making, on the mathematical side, where you have to, put, and you're an engineer, you know this, when you
yeah. Yep,
have to
yep.
put in all the specs and the measurements that you made, and for the actual printer to do what you want it to do. I think that's more of why these things are more expensive, because as we progress, 3D printers are becoming more available, and the
Yep,
more
yep.
companies that create 3D printers for sale, is going to drive the price down, because the demand is then going to go down because the supply is going up. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly that. I just I'll be interested to see what happens with that, because basically I wanna know what the price on that Dior 3D printer is. If you
It's
know,
going to be high
let,
because it's a Dior.
yeah, no, it's going to be about £1,000, I reckon. Me personally, I think it's going to be £1,000. But moving on to another quick strike today, I wanna talk about this topic because we've been talking about this recently for quite a while, and we both had opinions on this in prior to this discussion. But let me share this, bro. Listen to this. Let me know if you can hear this. But listen to this, bro. I wanna know what your opinion on this is, because it's quite interesting.
This is extremely lazy. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. So the reason why I picked this color for friends and families because it's so minimal pairs. They found it out a lobster. There's also one with these crazy hairy claws that's like prehistoric. The story wasn't there for me. I couldn't do anything with it. And I was like, there's gonna be one shoe that's limited that won't kill people to not have. I'm like, white might be the easiest to cope with. This is extremely.
So basically, Dean Point had come out and said he chose the white lobsters to look like the white lobsters, friends and family, because he couldn't come up with a concept for it. And because he couldn't come up with a concept for it, he thought white was easy. But he even admits it's a lazy design. So, what's your opinion on that, bro?
I agree with him. He could say that freely because he is the actual designer. Um, he he's acknowledging his own laziness in that concept. I understand the concept because I do know for a fact that there are albino lobsters. They're rare,
Yep.
which makes sense for that shoe being friends and family. From a rare animal to a rare sneaker, that's a sensible concept, right?
That's
The
a good
fact that
transition. I like the way you put that. I do like the way you put that because it's very rare in nature to have about
right.
albino lobster. So he made the white lobsters rare. So I can dig that concept. But
Also
carry on.
with the furry claw, I've seen that on one of these nature shows, one of the multiple nature shows that you can find now. I've also heard that before. So he's factual on everything that he said there. And I
Yep.
also, the only thing I don't agree with is him saying he thinks that's one friends and family that people can live with not having, because hype beasts and high-end collectors are still going to want it just because it's a friends and family and it's a rare sneaker. That's the only time I disagree with anything he said there.
I kind of agree with you, and I'd semi disagree with you at the same time. I've seen a lot of sneakerheads, a lot of people that pick up SBs that even said that was not great.
I don't think it's great. I understand the concept, but
yeah,
I wouldn't if that was the shoe that was available and the orange was the friends and family, I would have preferred the orange. I still prefer the orange or the red or the green or the purple. Any of the lobsters I would prefer versus that white one. But I can agree with him saying that it's lazy because that's how he feels about his own design. But I do like the concept.
So I'm gonna just use this segment to have a little bit of a really quick sidebar. We've been talking about how we feel some design aspects of Jordan brand and some other designers in terms of all the others. Let's not even just say Jordan, like Nike, Adidas, all of that stuff have been a bit lazy with their concepts and with their executions and stuff like that, and with their design concepts. Is that a sign, first of all, of reinforcing what Dean Point said, is reinforcing that whole aspect? And number two, is this why we're seeing more of a movement towards AI designs because it's different?
And I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to spin the AI thing into it. I think that two things can be true.
Yeah.
We will always call out designs that we feel are lazy, but I don't think lazy designing is the reason why we are seeing these AI designs. I think we're seeing AI designs because it's possible now. People are programming these systems for a lot of different reasons, a lot of different purposes. And I think that's why we see what we see with as far as the AI designs. Sneakers, especially retro Jordans and Nikes, Air Force Ones, Blazers, there's only so much you can do. And once most of the ideas have been done, you don't want to do it again. You try to come up with, there's only so many colors, primary colors that you can make variations of. There's only so many colorways you can do once you've done a black and purple Jordan 13. How else can you spin purple on a 13? How else can you spin orange on a Jordan 1? We've seen 5 different orange Jordan 1s. What else can you do outside of going outside the box? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think just on the, if you go to Angeles at this moment in time and look for a red Angeles paint, there's 5 different variations. That goes to show you how many different variations of just little touch-ups that will change to make sure it's just a bit different from the OG,
but red is red.
From the original. Yeah, red is red, but you got chili red, you got varsity red, you got fire red, you got, bro, there's different variations of shade of red.
Yeah, but red is red. When you're looking at a shoe, okay, the Jordan 4 with all the different colorways of 4s that include red.
Mm-hmm.
It's just red.
Yeah,
When you look at it, you don't know if it's varsity red or university red or fire red. It's just red.
yeah,
Until you see the color code, then you say, okay, and then maybe you can compare it to a shoe that has a different variation of red. I'm talking about colorways in particular, and when we have this discussion.
yeah, yeah.
Colorways, not variations of colors, unless it's extreme, like I'm a Monier 4. Like that's a really,
Violet,
really weird color.
violet, or violet, or is it not even? It's a very pastely, purpley, or violet. Yeah,
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
and I think as a result of the materials and the creation of that hue for that collab, for that
yeah,
colorway. But for the most part, we get what we get. It's blue, it's green, it's red. Yeah, yeah. There's pine green, there's forest green, there's you know royal blue. There's university blue. There's a blue is blue, red is red, green is green. Blah blah blah.
yeah, yeah.
Colorways is what really determines for most sneakerheads whether something is lazy or not. When we call out sneakers for the most part for being lazy, we're saying, "Oh, that colorway is lazy," or "We had that same shoe in a different color. It's the same
Yeah.
exact thing. They just switched the color." Like
How
black
do you
and
feel?
whatever 13s. We have the black and red 13, which is the OG.
Yep.
Then we got black and blue. We got black and university. We got black and purple. You know what I'm saying? We got black and
How,
white.
how do you feel about the different colorways, different infamous colorways coming back onto different silhouettes? So, like we've seen the True Blue 1, but it's in reality it's the famous colorway, OG colorway is the True Blue 3. So we see the white cement 1, which is the white cement 3. How do you feel about like the hair colorway had that same treatment?
Yeah, with
So
the
how do you,
6.
yeah, with the 6, how do you feel
Bordeaux's
about
also.
Bordeaux's also? Yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about them mixing and trying to transition one infamous colorway, one famous colorway to a different silhouette?
It depends on how it lands. With the ones, I saw a lot of people comparing the 1 to the 3. I don't think that's fair because the 1 silhouette design is so far from the 3
The 3,
silhouette
yeah.
design.
I
So
called it a.
with the true blue ones, I took it as okay, they're taking the blue variant, true blue, and putting it on a 1.
But it looks more French blue than true blue.
But the color code is what? True blue or
True blue.
French blue?
True blue,
Exactly.
bro.
Now,
Yeah.
so we just got through talking about color variations. What did I
It's
say?
interesting.
Blue is blue.
Blue
You
is blue,
said
bro.
the
Blue is
true
blue.
blue on the 1 looks like the French blue, like on the 13. The French blue
Yeah.
13 is what? Blue gray with a little bit of
Yeah.
red. The
Yeah.
true blue ones are blue and gray. The true blue 3s are blue gray with a little bit
A
of
bit,
red.
a bit
So
red. Yeah.
truly, the French blue 3 is more like the true blue. The French blue 13 is more
It's
like
more
the
like the
true
true
blue
blue
3. But
3.
you
Yeah.
just said
It's called a
that
French blue 3.
the blue on that 1 looks more like a French blue. So you see what your
Yeah.
brain did to you there?
Yeah. I know what it
You
did
know
to
what I'm
me.
saying? It's like
Exactly.
that's why I try so hard when we get okay, so with like the 6 and the 7, the Bordeaux and the hair, those silhouettes are so similar in so many ways. Where it's like, does it do it justice? Does putting the hair or the Bordeaux colorway on the 6 do justice? Does it pay homage to the 7? Does it make sense? Whereas with the 1 versus the 3 true blues, I separate it by saying, okay, they just using the true blue color. And that's why they call it True Blue. There's not a nickname for it. They're naming it after the color, because if there is no, like the Space Jam, we call the the black on black with the Concord 11 Space Jam.
Yep.
So this Jordan 1 mid, black on black, patent leather with a little bit of Concord, Space Jam, and they gave it hints from that Space Jam 11. We don't call it the Jordan 11 Concord. We don't call it the black and white. We call it Concord because of the Concord purple that's in the colorway. You know what I'm saying? Yep. When it first came out, I don't think anybody was calling it Concord. It was just the new Air Jordan. It wasn't even the Jordan 11. It was just the new Air Jordan.
You know what?
Say, what new Air Jordans? The white and black one with the black patent leather.
Me and Cam were talking about this on the live just before we recorded this podcast. The chicken or the egg? What makes the name? Now I feel like the people have more power to name the silhouette, and then the brands run with it. So it's been happening over the last 20 years, and it's happening more and more. Whatever we see, whatever we take from it, whatever we rename it, becomes the name of it officially. And it's the street name. I know what you're gonna say. The Crimson Fours are not the Red Thunder Fours. I feel the same way. They're not. And this is where even if you look at it on StockX, they're called the Red Thunder Fours, I think.
But that's a false name. We as the sneaker community have the most control. That's the thing that we have the most control over, what something is called.
Yeah.
Whether the brands go with that or not is not up to us.
Yep.
It's a Crimson 4 because Nike says it's a Crimson 4. If someone wants to call it Red Thunder, I know what they're talking about, but I would never call it Red Thunder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting, like that whole concept is interesting. But talking about early sneakers or early looks at sneakers, let's talk about this, bro. Let's talk about the satin bread potentially coming out this year, bro. You know how limited this sneaker was when it originally came out? 601 pairs, was it?
Yeah, I've never liked that.
I'm not getting it for myself. I had it. Like, this is a really funny story. I had it on my phone, opened up. I left it there, not on purpose. I was wanted to show my girlfriend 2 sneakers. Right, one of them was this. One of them was another sneaker. I'm gonna show you in a bit. But she literally walked past my phone, saw it, turned back, picked up my phone, looked at it, looked at me, and says, "These are nice. I want these." I exactly knew what she meant because I put it there on purpose. Not on purpose, but not intentionally. But I put it there because I know she wanted that. I know she wanted the satin black toes, which she's got now. I know she wants this bread satin. She loves the satin colorway, and this is a women's exclusive, by the way, as well. I will be going in for my girlfriend for this when it comes out, because I think this is a really, really, really good silhouette and kind of concept for the women exclusive in terms of giving it to the ladies. It's great. It's dope. She has to get it. I have to get it because it's another satin sneaker that she would want alongside with the black toe satin.
Yeah, I don't like the stitching and wings.
I know what you're gonna say. I knew you were gonna say that. I don't like the stitching on the wings logo on that.
I don't like the eyelet, the metal on the eyelets either. And the only satin shoe that I really, really like full satin was the satin bread 5s.
Yeah, but I've got those.
Yeah, I'm cool on these. The only bread Jordan 1 I want is a full leather band bread.
Yeah.
Or low OG.
I think we all want that, bro. But yeah, we got. It's ironic. 2 years back, we got the pattern breads. Now we're getting the satin breads. Potentially, in 2 years' time we get the reimagined breads. Never know, bro. Never know.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I'm cool on these. They
Uh,
they nice for the ladies, I guess.
Yeah,
You know, if
it's
you like it,
it's a
you
dope
like it.
release for it's a dope release for the ladies. I think a lot of I'm glad they've made it women's exclusive as well. I hope the numbers are up there as well because I think that's a great colorway for the ladies.
Yeah, it'll probably be close to GR numbers. Maybe at the low end, probably Chicago Lost and Found numbers. At the high
Yeah,
end, probably maybe Brotherhood or Patent Bread numbers.
yeah. I think all the small feet gang are going to eat these like properly because I think they'll be quite. I'm going all in for my missus, by the way.
No, it's
So
gonna be a lot
this
of
is
dudes buying these too, and a lot of
yeah,
resellers trying to buy them up too.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up being like a pattern bread value at the end of the day. Once all done and dusted for the small
Yeah,
feet. For the small feet. Next up is bro. I'm excited about this one. The Fair Free, bro.
I don't care about these.
These, I like these. Cam pulled them out on the live today. And with the orange laces, bro, that's dope. That's super dope. I want them. I'm all in. I'm invested. Take my money now, bro. Take
Yeah,
my
I
money
don't.
now, bro.
I don't care about these at all, man. They cool, but they not for me. I won't.
Uh,
This is one release I'm definitely not looking forward to.
yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, and
I
I
like
think I
my
will
cool
definitely go to.
grays a lot better. I like the wolf grays more than I like these.
That's a good
Um,
convo. That's a good trio. Look, I'm gonna. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do a lose, choose, or dump because I know what you're gonna dump. You're gonna dump these in the first place. But what are you choosing? The wolf gray or the cool gray?
cool gray.
Yeah, I like that. I like that full process. The cool gray is so dope. Like
Cool gray
this,
is my favorite gray Jordan 3.
you know what this is, right? The cool gray is one of my favorites, but this Fair Free gives me a grunge look. Gives me like more of a London vibe grunge look,
Yeah, they look dusty to me.
and I dig that. I do dig that. I think it's a sneaker that you have no qualms in wearing instantly, rocking it, and if it gets dirty, you wipe it off and you move on because of that black upper or that dark gray
Yeah,
upper.
it's more like a charcoal gray versus
Yeah.
wolf
Uh,
gray or cool gray.
Yeah, I don't, and the thing is, let's be honest, like with the cool grays, it's got some of the attributes I'm in terms of the eyelets being orange and stuff like that. It's got something in there that pings it out like the cool grays anyway. So it's kind of got that little bit of that vibe, but that charcoaly gray, I'm digging. I like that a lot.
Yeah, but this is more white on the cool gray, which I think
Yeah,
is part of the reason why I like them more versus that just lighter tone of gray in general.
yeah. I might have to switch out the laces for orange laces if I'm honest, because it will pop that sneaker. I like the way Cam rocked it. It's a dope release. Next up, bro, something that's been announced recently. It is the holiday releases for the 11s, bro. What are you thinking about this Neapolitan ladies exclusive 11?
I can't think nothing right now because they got to figure out which mock-up they're gonna go with. Are they
Yeah,
gonna go with the
yeah.
pink
Pink or the
with a little
brown,
bit of brown, or a lot of brown with a little bit of pink?
bro. It could be totally different. It could be totally different to any of these mock-ups. We could get the mesh in that. Bro, we could have a trifecta of colors on that. We could have the mesh on that being pink, the mocha on the brown, the pattern leather, and then we could have that white on like we see it in terms of the midsole and the sole outsole. We could have that brown on the outsole. We could have that pink on the outsole. We could have anything. This is just the mock-up. I'm intrigued to work out what's going to happen with this sneaker. But I also heard, you might not have heard it, the DMP on the uppers is going to be leather rather than mesh.
I'm cool with that.
You cool with that?
Yeah,
It's almost like that cool grey sample which is all leather rather than mesh.
yeah, I'm cool with that. I roll with that all day.
Yeah. I'm getting more excited for those DMPs, if I'm honest. Very excited for those
As long
DMPs.
as they ain't got that Jordan fine on there, I'm cool.
Scrub it out, bro. Scrub it out, bro. No, I dig it. Let's just see what happens. I want to see official pictures because I hate doing stuff on mock-ups. I'm over the years I've got more and more fed up of looking at mock-ups because they never come true. It's all to build up the anticipation, but sometimes when the execution ain't built up for the anticipation, it just flops, and I hate that. I want the official pictures. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see how it looks up on feet.
The
I
one
want to
thing
rock
I will say
with it.
about these, they better have a white outsole.
Yeah, maybe, bro. Maybe, bro. Let's just see what happens with that. I'm intrigued. I'm invested. I think the next one I want to quickly show you, bro, is something that's obviously high end fashion. It's got a lot to do with everything nowadays. But I want to show you this, bro. The Tiffany Air Force Ones.
That is not high end fashion. That is sneaker culture at its finest. Not an Air Force One guy. I say that all the time. These are hard.
Yeah,
I like these. I like
$350 hard.
the detailing. Yeah, I mean, look at the materials, bro. Look at the
They look
detailing. Leather guts.
That's got
Suede.
Scott was telling me the other day. It's got Tiffany silver. What do you call it?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of jewelry on it.
Yeah.
So I'm liking these, bro. The laces.
4 sets of laces as well.
I would probably go with the Tiffany blue laces.
Yep.
If I were to have these, the Tiffany badge on the tongue, the leather lace Dubray instead of the Air Force One on it, just blank leather Dubray on that bottom lace, bro. These hard, bro. The leather guts,
Yeah.
the leather back tab. These
Scott was like, I need them. I said, you want them, bro? Yeah, I need them. I said, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
That should tell you something. It's an Air Force One that Scott is going for. That should tell you something.
That's the dope. I respect it. I do respect it. But yeah, that's coming out hopefully soon. Let's just see what happens with that. It's going to be really hard to get these.
It's super premium, bro. Super premium.
Next quick one I want to show you is this is coming back around. The Spider-Man Multiverse Jordan 1 OG highs are coming around again. I'm seeing more on feet again. Basically looks like May 20th is when it's going to come out. Are you starting to change your mind on them, or are you actually still got that same incentive with them?
I got the same energy on these. The actual pictures of them, come to find out, we were actually seeing real pictures of them the first time we saw them.
A lot of people thought they were fake, bro. It's like, what the hell is that? You know what? As one sneaker that shocked a lot of people the way it looked. Like, really?
Yeah, I'm getting used to the way they look. I still think they dope, but I still think they're not for me.
I think they did that on purpose. I think they knew that the Jordan 1 Multiverse Spider-Mans were so out there that they needed to show first looks, because if they dropped that closer to the release, if they dropped that in March time, knowing that in May time this is coming out, 20th of May is that sneaker is supposed to due to come out, a lot of people would be detracted from that. So they dropped the first looks late last year, so that people knew exactly what was coming out. And I think it kind of, it's one of those sneakers that it's going to grow on a lot of people when the release comes.
It's growing on me right now. I just thought to myself, maybe I will go for these. I'm dead serious, bro.
Dogs.
looking at them on feet right here, and this is why I love House of Heat, because when they get them, they always put them on feet.
Yep.
And that tends to change perspective when you see stuff on feet, bro. I could see myself rocking these. I really could.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I could really see myself rocking these.
Is that a bit of pattern on the swoosh and on the upper panels?
Yeah, the collar is and the swoosh is black pattern, and also we got a little bit of red pattern on that main eye stay.
Say no more, bro. Say no more. I will go in for your size. Say no more.
I really like these, bro. I liked them before because I understand where they're coming from with the whole Spider-Verse thing.
Do you think they coordinate that with the Spider-Man movie? Because if they've done that, that's going to be dope. Because as soon as that comes out, a lot of people are going to see the Spider-Man's Spider-Verse movie, and maybe they'll build up more hype to this sneaker. Because I feel the Spider-Man joints is the same situation where the original Origins Spider-Man Origins sneaker basically was made popular by the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. They have to continue it. I think they have to continue it because it worked so well the first time. And the Chicago colorway don't hurt, but it was a good, in my opinion, it was a good variation of Chicago. A lot of people don't feel the same way because of the preparations in the shoe. I like everything about that first Spider-Man Jordan 1, and I really like these two. Especially,
Yep.
bro, that semi-translucent red bottom. That's crazy, dog.
Yeah. I agree. I will try for you, bro. I'm definitely. I've got you reserved in for that release, so that's fine. If I do manage to get them, they will be swiftly over to you in the States. This
Yeah,
is really
I like these, man. I like these. I think I just talked myself into going for these.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yo, talking about talking your way into the community and talking your way into the whole sneaker world. What do you think of Mia Khalifa and her attitude on her change of aspects on sneakers in terms of where she went from? She doesn't understand the community of sneakerheads, and the more that she's got involved in it, she's kind of understood the relevance of sneakers. I think this is. I looked at it this week and I thought it was a dig at her. But now I'm changing my overall perspectives on what she's saying because it feels like that she wants to understand the scene, wants to understand the fashion scene because she's getting into that realm.
So the sneaker community is one aspect of the fashion world.
Yeah.
Some people, and let's just be honest. And I'll speak for myself. Like, I mean, we always do, but I'm gonna speak for myself on this. A lot of us don't care about high fashion.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't care about streetwear from a purist standpoint. A lot of people that consider themselves sneakerheads don't know how to dress well.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Because for those people, it's about whatever it's about for their enjoyment. There are a lot of people that have a lot more sneakers than they have a wardrobe.
I thought you was gonna say there's a lot of people out there have a lot more sneakers than sense.
Well, fashion sense.
Yeah.
Some people, bro, and I know you've seen it. I've seen it. I don't call it out because it's not my place, I don't want to shame people based on my opinions. And I hope, even though we give our opinions on this show every week, it's not, our intentions aren't to shame people. We crack jokes and we say what we do and don't like and what we would and wouldn't do, but it's never to shame anybody. I hope everybody that listens and watches us understands that.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't understand sneakerheads from a purist perspective or from a style perspective or from a ethics perspective, maybe she's not well versed enough or immersed enough in the sneaker community.
Yeah, I think I always try and do more research on the stuff now than ever before. But what I was reading a bit of the article about it, and I think this I'm going to share this with you. This was put on Nice Kicks this week, and I think the comments on here, like, people lost their minds about me bending the toe. How else are you supposed to walk in them? And I think this comment to me is more relevant. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. It's like she's been very vocal in the past about not really getting the sneaker thing. I think what eludes her is how sneakers are resold for so much, and the thing is, this is this perspective of a person from the outside. And when I talk to people about raffles, they think raffles are free. They think you get free sneakers at the end. They don't understand the raffle process. They don't understand why sneakers that are sold for thousands of pounds. They don't understand that. And she's immersing herself in the sneaker community and fashion. And these comments are coming from a person that's very new to the sneaker scene. So you got to kind of leave us some leeway and understand
Okay.
and realize.
Check this out. Question. Do you think she bought those Travis Scott 1 highs? Or was she seated?
I don't know. I can't comment on that.
No, I mean guess. Just give me a guess. You think she bought them, or you think she's enough of an influence to be seated?
I think she might have been seeded them.
So if she's seated, if she gets seated, if she's receiving free sneakers from companies, of course she don't understand.
Yep.
But because she's getting free shit, I'm sorry. Because she's getting a free shirt from these companies.
Correction.
I'm gonna have to find that and edit that out too. But because she's getting free products, her perspective is gonna be skewed because she don't even know what she's getting.
Yeah,
she
exactly.
Don't know
exactly.
that Travis Scott 1 high fragment is a highly sought after pair.
Highly coveted. So what your perspective, what you're saying is, bro, is it's not fair. It's not fair. No, it's not fair. Let's just be honest. It's not. You can't take the same perspective of a person that actually grinding really, really hard and really effectively spending days, weeks, research, networking, connecting to get a pair of Travis Scott's to her being seeded one, because the perspective is skewed so much so that it's given to her, and somebody else that has to go out there and really work, really put the effort in to get that sneaker is two different perspectives of two different worlds. I understand that, and there's more value from a person that's going to grind and get those sneakers that somebody's given something for free.
Okay, yes. But also, I don't agree with the perceived cringiness of this photo either. Because if you're gonna wear your shoes, what difference do it make?
Yeah, of course.
I've done this before. I've knelt to take. I did it in my Rebellionaires.
Yep.
I've also done it in my my Midnight Navy Tokyo ones. Because I'm wearing my shoes. I'm not interested in selling them. If I decide to sell them, at some point down the line, used or VNDS or whatever condition they're in, the price will adjust accordingly. But if you plan on keeping your sneakers and wearing your sneakers, what difference does it really make if you crease your sneakers? Because they're yours, they're your possessions. You got them however you got them, whether you bought them retail, resale, or you were seated, they belong to you. You can do what you want to do with them. I did to you when we discussed this. I did this.
Yeah. I saw.
I can do that.
Saw that
because it's my shoe.
You're flexing and bending the fires. Of course, but like I think it's really out of pocket when somebody turns around and says to you, you can't do something with your trainers. You like, so like, let's just be honest. This is almost some bad behavior we should be taken to sneaker court, right? Because you telling somebody what to wear, what to buy, how to wear, how to flex on somebody else's paycheck, that's bad behavior, bro. Because
put it
you
in
can't
the
be
shoe pound.
Yo, bro, I'm putting it in the shoe dog pound. That's going in the shoe pound. Nobody out there should be telling you what to wear, what to buy, and how to rock. That's your personal style. That's one-on-one gatekeeping, bro. That's one-on-one gatekeeping.
Guess what? Confession.
That's going on. Hold on. That is going in the shoe dog pound, bro.
It belongs.
It belongs
Confession.
there. We're gonna lock it up. Sorry, we're gonna lock it up. Throw away the key. Never coming back to that subject.
Guess what, bro?
Well, go on.
I've never understood or liked the way you lace your Jordan 1 highs.
I know.
But it don't matter. because I'm not wearing that shoe. You're wearing that
Exactly.
shoe. That's the way you
Exactly.
want to lace them. That's the way you like them. That's the way you wear them. I don't wear
Yeah.
mine like that, but I'm not finna talk reckless to you about the way you lace your shoes.
Yeah.
When I first saw you do that, I think I might have asked you why you do it.
Yeah.
But after that, it is what it is.
Yeah, I lace them a particular way. What I do is I don't take them all the way up to the top. What I do is thread it through and then literally don't have all the eyelets at the top are free moving, and it gives me more movement on my ankle when I'm moving, so it's a bit less restrictive. So I wear them like that. And
But see,
Cam said the same things like, you lace your Jordan 1s differently. I said, yeah, I lace them differently. I like to lace them that way.
fine. Yo, 99, my partner, most of his Jordan 1s, he got 2 sets of laces in them. Every Jordan that he has that comes with extra laces, and if they don't come with extra laces, he'll go find a pair of laces that matches and double lace them. Every pair of Jordan 1s I ever seen him wear, he double laces.
If the thing is, if somebody said to me, it can turn around to me and said to me, why do you lace your Jordan 1s that way? That's the wrong way to lace them, and you shouldn't be lacing them like that. You know what my response will be? What my response will be?
What's that?
I'm different, because I'm different, bro. I'm not like you, bro. I'm different.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
A guy asked me a while back, and I'd rather not say his name. The way I do my 5s with the lace lock, because I love the lace lock. All my 5s end up like this.
Yeah.
I don't tie them. Any of my 5s, I never tie them. When I put them on, I pull the lace lock tight and the strings hang just like that.
Yeah. I do the same thing, but what I do with my strings is tuck them in, and so that you only see the lace lock, and then the sneakers are tucked in. I don't tie 5s. The lace lock is there for just you to tie it in, and it's like a dust bag. Tie the dust bag and put it in, and you go.
Yeah.
And I like to do that because it doesn't mean I need to tie my sneakers.
Yeah, I let my laces hang like bunny ears. And the dude, we were in line. Shout out to Rick. Me and Rick was in line at a DTLR for the Oregon 5 release. And the dude, I had on I think I had on my black metallics that day. And the dude was looking like, how you lace your shoe? Like, how you do that with the lace lock? And I looked at him, and this guy is like a big reseller in the city, or at least he was. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah.
And I looked at him like, bro, you lame. Like, don't like, as big as your name is on Instagram, and you taking pictures with celebrities and all this, and you all this clout you got, and your attitude, the way I've seen you talk to people, and the way you try to treat people, and like the big price gouging that you do, and you looking at me, looking at my shoes, asking me for style advice. Get out of here, bro.
Hey, Joe, that's the worst thing about having a social presence. I'm going to quickly touch on this. We've seen this. I've seen a lot of gym behavior activity that is so bad. You pretty much probably have seen it recently. I want to mention this because I think naming and shaming on social media is such a bad thing to do, because you're bullying. That's a form of bullying. That's another subject that belongs in the dog pound, because that needs to be eradicated. Filming somebody and shaming somebody is horrendous, because especially if you're going to show their face, it's horrendous because you're bullying somebody. And it's mob mentality. I saw it this week where a lady actually kind of filmed herself and saying she's been sexualized in the gym because of this guy's not looking, that basically concerned that she was talking to herself in the gym. and he wasn't even making it bait. He was doing his workout and is glancing from time to time, and she felt she was unsafe. What are you trying to prove here? Somebody filming somebody saying, no, that's not the right way to lace your sneakers. That belongs in the dog pound, bro. That needs to be put away and locked up and never come out, and maybe even put down to death. That whole process is clout chasing 101. What are you trying to prove to people? No, I've seen people put lace locks at the bottom lace and kind of run it through and tie up their Jordan 5s or any other lace lock sneakers. I've seen that. I know Mr. Miller does that. I know a lot of people that do that. I don't have opinion on it, bro. You do your thing. What's it got to do with me?
Yo, I had never seen it done before I started doing it, and when I see other people do it, I'm like, this bastard just stole my idea. but Jordan 5's been out since 1990, so
yeah,
I venture to say I wasn't the first person to do that. You know what I'm saying?
99 problems, but this shirt ain't one.
Exactly. So, you know, people have to fight their impulses, bro. You have to fight your urges to be a wanker. Really.
Yes, you have to fight your urges to be an absolute shirt, because it's not good. Like, imagine it happening to you. If you have any bad intentions, just imagine if it happened to you, and then walk away.
Yeah, leave it alone.
Okay. So now, are we gonna go into the last couple of quick strikes, because I want to talk about this Soldier Boy situation and this
Omni
and the Hellcat beef, because I was almost gonna take these clout chasers to Sneaker Court.
Then they don't. It ain't worth it, bro. Well, I know you had a couple more quick strikes though.
Yeah. Okay, let's deal with that in a bit. Let's just have a look at this friends and family. Not friends and family. Let's have a look at this. Have you seen that friend zone sneaker?
No.
Have you not seen this? Let me just pull this up, because I found it really funny when I actually first saw it, because it was, to me, like reinforcing the friend zone for a lot of women that could actually buy this sneaker for somebody to friend zone them. I found this really funny, bro. This is the Nike Dunk Low white yellow heart, and it says Valentine's Day sneaker for. Let's just be honest, it's a rejection sneaker. It's if your Valentine's Day gives you a Valentine's Day card, you can give them back out of your own expense, bro.
It looks like a rejected sneaker though.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with the outsole in that picture, bro? Like, is this picture distorted or what? Like,
I don't know, bro. I don't know if this is the official pictures, but this is what's actually touted. Yo, if you guys, I feel sorry for you. And ladies and gentlemen, I feel sorry for you if somebody gives you a yellow heart for Valentine's Day, because apparently this sneaker dictates that you've been friend zoned and you have no chance in hell on going on a date, or even making your advances to any of your people that you're interested in. Because, yo, is this me, or is this like a troll from Nike at the moment?
It's cap, bro.
Yo, this is legit. This is coming out, bro.
No, I'm saying this is a cap notion. Like, why make a friend zone sneakers, bro? Like, what?
I don't know.
It's an all white dunk.
What would you do?
Like, come on,
what would you do if you got this for your missus for Valentine's Day? She would slap you, bro.
Dog.
I'm laughing. I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they formalized the friend zone with a sneaker, bro. Yo, you know the worst thing is, nobody's gonna be out there wearing this yellow friend zone sneaker because they don't want that kind of heat, bro.
No, some people will. Some people want to be in the friend zone. I also believe in some cases, only in special cases, friends with benefits is a different realm of the friend zone.
Oh yeah, I do. I feel this sneaker is gonna be best served for besties, where some guys will buy it for their other mates, or some girls will buy it for their other female mates. So that, oh yo, we're best friends. This will turn out to be like a bestie sneaker rather than a friend zone sneaker. I hope it does, because that's trolling. That's trolling, bro. Like, you can't design a sneaker that you've especially for some guys and some girls, being friend zoned is a very hurtful thing. And
Yeah,
to kind of make a sneaker based on it, I just feel we should just call this the bestie sneaker.
yeah. That's why I said there's a cap notion in general, bro. Like, that's a bad
Yeah.
idea. Friend zone, like, that's a huge troll, bro. Nobody. That's not cool for anybody that considers themselves or has found out that they're in the friend zone that they don't want to be in. That's not cool, bro.
Especially that's messing with people's feelings,
Yeah,
and
that's insensitive.
I'm not. Yeah, very insensitive. I could, bro. I know this Valentine's Day there's gonna be a lot of memes of people giving this sneaker, the friend zone sneaker, to their besties or their people that they think that have interest in them, and it's gonna be heartbreaking when people, like, the expression we saw for the sneaker con raffles. We're gonna see that more and more for when this sneaker gets pulled out.
This is
I
not
just,
cool, bro.
bro, it's not. It's not. I think it's a bit bad from
The yellow heart, bro. Like,
forever going forward.
the significance of the yellow heart is now like,
Friend zone.
before it was the yellow heart was to represent your love for Kobe, the yellow and
Yeah,
purple hearts.
yeah.
I don't like this, dog.
You
I don't
and
like
me both.
Yo,
Ye-
imagine how many people finna start getting yellow emojis now.
Yo,
Yellow
yeah,
heart emojis.
yo. Like, imagine Valentine's Day. All you see is yellow hearts, all pair all the way through, and Instagram and social media. Yeah, yo, bro. I think Nike just started a movement.
Yo, and I only have I had a very, very small number of female friends.
Yeah.
It's yellow emojis from now. Yellow heart emojis. From yeah.
Last one before we talk about Soldier Boy, Omni, and the Cat is this one, bro. This is the Puma Beam. No, yeah, is it Puma? Yeah, Puma Beams.
Garbage.
Yo, bro. What is going on, bro? Like, is distressed homeless look a new fashion? If you haven't seen the new Beams Puma silhouette, it's basically inspired by vintage sweatshirts. Yo, bro,
It's not.
well, that's what the description says, bro.
No, it's not, bro.
That's what the description says.
Come on, bro. That's not vintage, bro. The Jordan 1 Lost and Found is inspired by vintage.
Yeah.
That Beams Puma trash is not vintage, bro. That's rotund. That's destroyed, bro. That's unwearable. It's just as bad as the Margiela Tuck Taylor busted, disgusting.
It was a Balenciaga. Chuck it in the bin, Taylors.
That was Balenciaga?
Yeah, that was Balenciaga.
Well, whichever one
our
of
favorite
them monkey companies did it. Yo. You know what? I said Margiela because they did
the Reebok with the logos and like, yeah. That's the one.
It was the same difference to me. Like, remember the Reeboks, the dusty, dingy looking Reebok Omni pumps.
Yeah.
With the cracked midsole and all that, like trying to play off the off-white Jordan 2 lows. Like, bro, y'all need to stop, bro.
By the way, a very good idea.
The people that wear dirty Air Force Ones are not gonna buy that because they want their own dirt on their shoes.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. Something that we will probably end up doing in the next coming months is a YouTube video for our channel. We'll pre-record it, and we'll make the 10 worst designs, the high-end designs for sneakers in the last 5 to 10 years. It will be Mason Margiela, Dior, Balenciaga, all of that stuff, and we'll give it, rather than give it gold ratings, we'll give it skeleton ratings. We'll do that video coming your way soon. Yeah, and it won't be a super goat. It'll be trash can water, like Mike Rich says, because I love the way he says that.
That's his thing. We're not gonna
That's his
take his thing.
We're
Yeah,
going
boy,
to give
no,
it skeleton. We're gonna give it a death rating, the literally death rating for these sneakers where they deserve to be. Because at the end of the day, bro,
no.
we need to do a top 10.
If we gonna do that, since you just love giving away all our ideas on the podcast, if we go do that, we could either go. We can go from trash can to landfill. Trash can being regular trash, and landfill being like it shouldn't even exist. You know what I'm saying?
And what is a super death or the ashes dust to dust?
The crematory.
Yeah, exactly.
Crematory.
Exactly. Well, watch out for that video that was coming soon. But yeah, bro, like I think we need to do it. I think we need to kind of readdress this climate of these high-end sneakers and how absolutely horrible they are. Horrible, bro. Top 10 worst sneaker high-end fashion sneakers coming your way soon, guys. Watch out for the video on YouTube.
None of which we will have in hand, by the way.
Yeah. We will not have these in hand. We're not paying $750 or £1,000 or wherever you want to claim the sneakers are valued at. With, you know what? It's to me, it's like the less materials it's got, the more expensive it is. Air is costing money now, bro.
What? They're gonna start selling soles with just laces.
£2,000. £2,000. Yo, wasn't that what the Romans used to wear back in the day?
No, they actually wore sandals.
Sandals, yeah. Sold with laces.
they go find a way. They gonna find a way. Watch. Especially after what we saw last week at the fashion show, bro. They gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got this this foolishness going on between Soulja Boy and Ami in a Hellcat. I will not play this video. I will not play any of the audio because the language in these videos is not the type of language that we're gonna have on the podcast moving forward.
Yep.
However, if y'all listening and watching this, if y'all not aware of this story, please go and research this story for yourselves. It is 100% jokes. especially from Soulja Boy's standpoint. And we know Soulja Boy is a liar. Okay. We're just gonna say it. He has been proven to be a liar. He's made a lot of claims that he's been caught up in, and we know that he's lied about. We know he lied about the video game, amongst other things. I think the video game thing was the biggest lie that he got caught in because that game was trash. He knew it was trash, or if he didn't know it was trash, he claimed that it wasn't trash. But
can I say you one comment on Soulja Boy, right? I'm probably gonna I'm not gonna say anything. Well, the only comment I'm gonna make is he's the legitimate UA plug.
What?
He basically brought a video console to the mass audiences.
Yeah.
That is sold in the black market.
Yeah. 100%.
He's a legitimate UA plug.
100%.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah. So that was the biggest controversy that he's had. And he has claimed because he did do a couple of things first. Now his catchphrase is "I did it first." So everything he's done, everything that he claims he did first is not true. Okay,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
his brand. That's what he's running with, and it works from a comical standpoint. And I think he understands the comedy of
Yeah.
claiming to do all these things first. He know it brings attention
Tension. Yeah.
to him and his brand. And listen, I don't hate Soldier Boy, but I'm not riding with Soldier Boy either.
Yeah.
It's every time I see most content from him is something that's really stupid, something that's unnecessary. Him beefing with different rappers and different brands and companies. It's always funny to me because of how animated he is and how much belief he seems to have in himself. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Can I put a spin on this for you, bro?
What?
They're actually in it together. I do believe since the Nike case against Cool Kai, to gain some traction, some publicity, they went at each other like a fake rap beef.
I don't think so.
I think it started that way, potentially, and then I think it got out of control because it got really petty really quickly, like to the point where where Omni was basically saying Soldier Boy's jewelry is fake, and then Soldier Boy retracted to that and said, "Yo, if my jewelry sounds the same way as your jewelry, so if mine's fake, yours fake." It got really petty really quickly.
But this is what Soldier Boy does. Now,
Yeah.
to your point, I think they are now using each other because they know that this beef is
Escalating their notoriety. Yeah, exactly. This is why I feel in a way, even if it wasn't meant to, go on.
I was gonna say way more people know Soldier Boy than people know Ami.
Yeah. I do believe whoever started it, and I don't know who started it. Maybe it was Omni. I don't know who started. Okay, cool. I do believe that maybe if it wasn't intentional, maybe if it wasn't, if they wouldn't in league with each other, I still do believe that this was purposely portrayed to bring light to both of them. Not Soldier Boy as much, but Omni's running with this massively.
Ami is definitely running with it. You know, with the Kai situation, we know Ami and Kai used to do business together. They broke up. Ami went off on his own. Their shoes are very, very similar because they started at the same time. Nike sued them both jointly, and Kai don't want to have nothing to do with Ami. Ami doesn't appear to want to have anything. Well, I can't say that because when the lawsuit hit, Ami spoke on him and Kai fighting it together. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Kai want to do anything with Ami anymore. But because they're co-defendants on the case, I think Ami was trying to take advantage of that. But
I think it's also maybe he wanted the same defense as Cool Kai because obviously I don't know what his financial status is. It would probably make it easier.
I don't know. I know Cool Kai makes a lot of money. We don't have, I'm not pocket watching none of these people, so it appears that Ami is doing well for himself too. But Soldier Boy started it by coming out and saying Ami reached out to me to offer help with my shoes, which are not good.
Now I remember. Sorry to cut you up. Now I remember it because I remember it wasn't Soldier Boy. Omni made a video. I see it. Omni made a video and said Soldier Boy's reproduction or replicas of that silhouette is trash. Nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying Soldier Boy's sneakers because only person that's wearing that is Soldier Boy. That's what Soldier Boy reacted to.
No. Soldier Boy started it. Soldier Boy was making the shoe is called Soldier Star. It's not a good looking shoe.
Isn't that close to Fake Star?
No, Ami reached out to Soldier Boy, supposedly, says Soldier Boy. Ami reached out to him and offered his services. to Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy declined, his help, and nothing came of it until this Nike lawsuit happened that Soldier Boy went online saying, "Ha ha, you hit me up asking me if I want your help,
and you got
but
lost. Oh yeah,
now you're getting sued by Nike." So that's what Army responded to when he said, Soldier Boy's shoes are trash. He's the only one wearing them. His jewelry's probably fake, blah, blah, blah. And then Soldier Boy came back, and that's what you were saying when Soldier Boy said, your jewelry sound like mine. So if mine fake, yours must be too. Because Army, and that was goofy, in my opinion, for Army to say your jewelry sounds fake. Like all y'all jewelry sound the same, bro. How can you tell if something is fake by the way it sound on somebody's neck in a video? Like, come on, bro, that was goofy.
That was it. Got really pay. It's very pay, very pay.
So now they taking shots back and forth at each other, and it's really funny because Soldier Boy is a funny dude. He get real animated. He get real loud. He cussing a lot. He talking reckless. He flexing. It's hilarious, bro.
you know what? Even though whatever Soldier Boy does, he's very good comic relief.
Yes.
It's funny. He goes after rappers for making beats that he says wasn't he claiming about ghostwriting for some famous rappers as well?
Bro, do you remember the Breakfast Club interview?
Yeah,
where he had on the Gucci bandana.
I vaguely remember that.
Okay, so he went on the Breakfast Club, and this skit, the segment of him going crazy on the Breakfast Club has been parodied so many times, bro. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But he had on a Gucci jacket and a Gucci bandana, and the most notable part of it was when Charlemagne mentioned Drake, because Drake did, I guess you can call it a bite. Technically, you can call it a bite, but Drake started a song, "Tell Me What's Really Going On."
Yeah.
Drizzy back up in this thing was ready, what's happening. That's how Soldier Boy started one of his songs back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And so when Drake was brought up, Soldier Boy famously go, Drake, what you, Drake? And it was just so funny. He just kept saying his name like, Drake? What you mean? He stole my line from my song back in the day and blah, 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 which was true.
Yeah.
But Soldier Boy is not on the level of Drake, bro.
No.
Just because he used one of your lines when he was first starting his career.
Yeah.
Bro, we 10, 15 years later, Drake is arguably the biggest artist in the world. He's up there with the Bad Bunnies and the Beyoncés and the Rihannas. Like
he made it okay. Drake, you know what Drake did? Drake made it okay to sing and rap at the same time. It made it more acceptable.
He did. Yeah. He did.
And he converted R&B into hip hop and infused it. And that's what you got to respect him for.
And calypso and reggaeton and everything else.
That's the one.
You know?
Even though I rock with Kendrick like 100, right? I still think Drake did a lot for music in his time, and in terms of he's very diverse in his whole spectrum of music, which is good to see. And which I do love the old Drake when he comes in and does everything. Like the old Drake first couple of albums, you were dope, bro. Were dope. So, but the whole situation with Soldier Boy and Omni and the Cap. This is what happened. This is what happens when you start clout chasing 101.
Yes. Like I said, Soldier Boy started it, which is very on brand for him. Ami responded, is bringing attention to Ami I don't know if it's good, going to be a good or bad thing for him business wise moving forward. But for
Mhm.
Soldier Boy, it's definitely a good thing for him business wise because he seems to thrive off controversy.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know if the same thing would be true for Ami, especially with this ongoing lawsuit.
Yep.
So speaking of ongoing lawsuits,
Yeah. Oh, we got into some main topics here today, bro.
no,
Main topics.
this is the main topic.
This is the main topic for today. I have delved into this, and
So have I.
I have literally got my opinion on this, bro. And it might be controversial, but I do feel there's some remits where Nike are bad, and there's some remits where Babestar are bad. So if you guys didn't know, Nike have officially come out and they are suing one of the biggest trendsetters from the 2000s, early 2000s to the late 2000s, which is Babestar. The bathing ape is getting the treatment. Let's just say that.
So with all these lawsuits, from John Geiger to Warren Lotus to Kool Kai and Lil Nar, we always wondered, why hasn't Nike sued Bape? Do they have an agreement? Does Bape pay for the patents? Is Nike getting royalties? Like why is Bape continuing to be able to create these knockoffs of Air Force Ones, Jordan Ones, Dunks, and Air Max 90s to a certain extent, Air Max Ones to a certain extent? So from what I've read, before you give your opinion, because I do really want to hear your opinion, from what I've read, the main reason why Nike is only just now coming with a lawsuit against Bape is because their releases were so sporadic that Nike didn't feel it was worth going after them because they only released every so often one colorway here or there. And now in recent years that Bape has consistently produced different colorways of the Bapester in particular. And I've seen it especially in the past year where Bapesters are releasing more and more frequently. Yeah, they're becoming very regular releases. Nike is like, okay, now we got something to go with because they've been dropping these shoes as much as we drop shoes.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you a breakdown. So basically, if you didn't know, Bathing Ape it's a Japanese company which was originated in 1993, and it was there for like the 10 years. And then it started migrating into the US. So Babestar was more about fashion, and then they kind of got into the realm of sneakers, streetwear, fashion, streetwear, and they got into the realm of sneakers, and they started using the Air Force One as a silhouette, the base silhouette. So the Babestar originated from the Air Force One, but the thing is, at that point in 2003. That Nike were aware of the situation of what Bape was doing, but like you said, bro, it was very sporadic, right? And then they sat down with, I think they sat down with Bape in 2009, in 2008, 2009, and at that point, I think they had a couple of stores in the US because I think in 2003 they started to migrate into the US a bit more, and I think in 2008, 2009, Nike sat down with them. And they kind of addressed the situation with Babestar. And you found from 2008 and 2009 onwards, I think the owner of Bape sold his actual company, and they started to retract their sales in America. So their stores start to close in America, right? From imagine being there from 2003 to 2010. They were getting a lot of celebrities come through the door to get their Babestar because it was very similar, very similar to their sneakers. It was more premium.
Lil Wayne,
it was a high
Kanye,
end. Yeah,
Soldier
exactly.
Boy, for real.
Exactly. So what happened with the situation was when Nike approached them and sat down on the table, they retracted their their kind of sales in the States, they actually changed the model of the Bape Star to look a bit different, and it didn't do well either, right? So there's two factors there. First of all, they came into the States in 2003, started to do their thing. Nike approached them in 2008, 2009, had a conversation. They retracted their stores in America, and they didn't start selling Bape Stars in America. Then they changed the design, and then all of a sudden, recently, right, they went back to the old heritage design, and obviously the companies was brought out past 2010. And the new owners are reproducing the old Bape Star, knowing that the popularity with that in 2021, and they started to increase their holding in the States, and that is an issue. That's when it becomes an issue, because when Nike's official statement in 2009 was, this company doesn't do the same numbers or is irrelevant to the releases to be a threat. And now it's changed, because now in 2021, they bought up a lot of stores in America, bro, to actually do their releases. They've upped their increase in sales, and they've upped the increase in production of the Bape Stars. They're more regulated. Yeah, that becomes a massive issue to Nike. Well, that's one point. That's the one aspect of it, right? So that's what I've heard. That's what I've read. And if you guys haven't read the complex article, go and read the complex article, because that is a hell of a lot of information that you need to take in. So all the points I've just said to you is in that complex article. Definitely go and read that. So Nike didn't deem them a threat in 2009. And off the back of them retracting the stores in America, and now in 2021, when Bathing Ape has been brought out earlier in the late 2010s, I think, they are now upping it. They are changing the designs back to the Air Force One. That becomes an issue, because now you made yourself official contenders to that Air Force One pattern that you actually copied in the first place. You now become a threat. But also, I'm going to look at it from the opposite side, right? Over the last couple of years, Nike have been doing their thing with the Air Force One. Maybe don't like the fact that Bape Star is doing these colorful colorways that they're producing on their sneakers, because they want to do it. That becomes an issue as well. That becomes a massive issue as well. So I feel like Nike wants their product back. Yeah, that's good. Nike's looking to get their product back. That's on them. But in 2000, from 2003 to 2009, Bape was never a threat because of the irregularity of the releases. Now, when you become more of a proficient, high-end brand that wants to constantly release Bape Stars, that becomes an issue, because now it's and Bape, what their argument was, or what Nike's argument was, is in 2009 was, only elitists knew what Bape was. The regular sneakerheads weren't getting confused with Bape. Now they are.
I don't think people are necessarily confused.
Not us. The regular consumer.
Bro,
that's the argument that Nike put forward. That's the argument. That's the reason why they said in 2009 they didn't want to sue them. They didn't want to go up against Bape. But the problem now is, right, John Geiger won his case, right? That John Geiger is not. I think Warren Lotus won his case as well. They're not high. They haven't got the muscle or money behind them. Bape do.
I don't, bro. When you look at the patents versus the products that are produced, it's just biting. It's bootlegging, whatever you want to call it. If we look at this graphic that we got on the screen, we have all the patents from Nike that they're alleging were copied. The Air Force One low and the Bape Star. The Air Force One mid, Bape Star mid. Dunk low, skate star. The Air Force One midsole design in general. Then there's the Jordan 1 high and the Court Star high. Jordan 1 low and the Court Star.
And the Court Star low.
Bro, it's biting.
It
just like
course it's biting.
everybody else, just
It
like Lil
course
Nar,
it
just
is.
like Warren Lotus, just like John Geiger, just like Kool Kai, just like Ami. It is what it is, bro. And when you play with people's property, this is what happens.
Yeah, I
So
truly agree with you. But now the muscle mount, and I'm not talking about muscle mount, the financial power that Bape has, Babe and Ape has, is totally different to John Geiger or Kool Kai, or because Babe and Ape is a renowned streetwear fashion. They have money to back their words, and more. I'm not saying the other people don't. This you're talking about John Geiger, Warren Lotus, Kool Kai, they're individuals aspiring to become a Bape.
you might have that money, but you don't own that patent.
Yeah, and of course you don't. Of course you don't. So did anybody that's wondering why Nike didn't sue Bape or go after Bape in between 2003 and 2009 is because Nike didn't deem them a threat, and
That's the
unfortunately,
most interesting part about it to me.
yeah, and interesting wise, and it's really interesting how Bape has flourished over the years to become the financial strength they are, and now it's a problem.
And we've seen Bape collab with other shoe
Yep.
companies,
Yep.
especially Adidas.
Adidas. Yep, bro. Yes,
now,
I know.
Now we know why Bape has never collabed with Nike.
Yeah,
I was under
because
the impression, just guessing, that Nike was either letting them slide, which we now know is really the truth, or there was some type of arrangement between the two companies.
Yep.
And Nike just been letting them slide because they didn't feel like it was worth it.
Yeah, and I think Nike have reassessed that equation massively, because if you really think about it, they let Bape slide in 2003 to 2009. And now they're not letting anybody slide. They're going after everybody because they know if you give somebody a foothold in your streetwear and high end fashion, they will literally have a stronghold in the future because they'll have the financial might to fight you. And Bape is one. Ameri, I think, is another one. I don't know what the agreement with Ameri and Nike is. I have no clue. I need to do more research on that. But if they have no agreement with Nike, they are coming for you. I do believe every high-end fashion brand is taking off the Air Force One or the Jordan 1 that haven't got agreement with Nike. Nike is coming for you. But I also believe it's really funny that the Bape Star did a collaboration with Adidas, which gave Adidas a little bit of an Air Force One, didn't it? Really?
No, it was the Superstar, the shell toe.
Okay, cool.
That's the most famous
but imagine
Adidas Bape collab.
But imagine if Adidas did a Bape Star collab on the Bape Star, which is pretty much an Air Force One.
No, it was a brand collab. It wasn't a silhouette collab. They let Bape come in and do designs on existing Adidas silhouettes. Adidas would be very, very stupid to try to do a Bape Star Adidas. Adidas knows better than that because they know patent laws, just like Nike does. If anybody tried to replicate an Adidas patent, they would issue lawsuits the same way Nike is doing now.
I feel that Nike has now made their mind up that they need to go after everybody that's copying their pattern, because you can only lessons learned is a massive thing. You learn your lessons from your experiences, and one of the lessons from Bape is they should never have let them slide. Should never have let them slide.
And they're trying to put out any smoke before it becomes a fire.
Yeah, and Bape or Babe and Ape is a massive fire, and bro,
big fire.
Babe and Ape is big fire, and Babe and Ape high streetwear is dope. I like it. I like the camo effects. I like the I like seeing the Babe and Ape in the camo. It's dope. It's a great concept, great design. But as soon as they hit the sneaker market, they knew what they were doing. They knew that the Air Force One was so popular. They knew that if they converted it, put patent leather on it, did the radical colors. And I'm also leaning more towards the fact that they making those colorways that Nike want to make, that's made them more of a target as well. Because you seen the Air Force One that released last year. There's so many
Undefeated.
different colorways. Yeah, look at the undefeated. That you, bro, to remove the swoosh, put a Bape Star star on it. It's a Bape Star. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, but Nike has undefeated. They have concepts. They have Supreme,
Yep.
and other, Pata. They have other streetwear companies that they do collaborations with that gives them that dopeness, that gives them that stamp that
Yep.
Bape could also provide. But for whatever reason, Bape they wanted it for themselves. They wanted to, take the silhouette and have it for themselves, just like others. And
I still believe, and the ironic statement from Nike was, "We're taking all the profits." That was like a declaration of war, bro. That to me was like, yeah, you did wrong since 2003. We're coming for all that profit. So, and unless an agreement's been done, unless an agreement's been done with Bape, I just feel, I said it last week. I just feel like Nike's going to go after all of these high end fashion brands or these streetwear brands, and make them a target, and then basically ask for a profit by releasing their patterns.
and they want to stop it from happening in the future without their approval.
And then this is why they've actually gone after the Cool Kai's and the Warren Lotuses and the John Geigers and all of that stuff they made. And you know what? The thing is, I say that John Geiger's won that battle or the Warren Lotuses won that battle. Not really.
They
Because
just didn't lose.
they just didn't lose. They had to change the design aspect of their sneaker, and changing one aspect of the sneaker. And what Bape has learned, or if you monitored the Bape Star, once they changed the Bape Star to look different to the Air Force One, it didn't do well, bro. And that's the reality of the case. Is if you go and start changing the design aspect of a sneaker by little magnitudes, it didn't do well. It did not do well. So
I believe this is the design that you're referring to. It's like a mixture of the three silhouettes. It's like a Dunk, Air Force One, and Jordan 1 all put together.
Yeah, that didn't do well. It didn't do well at all.
It looks so weird. Like we know you can see certain design cues from the silhouettes, and they just don't go well together.
Yeah, and even though the three people like Warren Lotus and John Geiger didn't lose, they probably could lose in the long run because they can't use that silhouette. Everybody knows that silhouette, the Jordan 1 silhouette, the Air Force 1 silhouette, the Dunk silhouette. Everybody's used to it. When you're not when it's, I'm going to put it in a light way. It's turning that pattern that they've used into looking more like a UA than it is. And then people don't vibe with it. That's what happened to Bape Star once they changed that Bape Star pattern. Because it looked more like a UA.
That's the trouble with people. I understand people wanting to take inspiration from the brands that they love and do their own thing with them. But when you're taking directly, meaning designs from these companies, like shout out to G Squared. Bro is doing his own original designs, and he wants to bring it to the world, and he wants to be accepted for his own designs. We know he loves, we both know him personally. We know he loves a lot of different brands and silhouettes from the brands. He's not going that route. And I
he's
think
making a very unique sneaker here. He's making a very unique sneaker for himself, building off his own ideas, which is probably the way to go. I just think, me personally, Nike haven't lost in this situation. Nike's actually Nike's learned from the whole Bape situation that we don't need to win. We just need to make them change their design, and we've won already. Like,
Yeah.
let's just be honest. Like, the if you look at the historics of the Bape sneaker, the Bape Star, and it being so popular for about 6 years, and then all of a sudden the retraction from the States, the change of the design, and why do you think Bathing Ape has gone back to the traditional Bape Star? Because the change in design didn't work.
Yeah, and they're no easier to get than other retro releases either.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't want to hear the Bape fans come out and say, "Well, I couldn't get Air Force One, so Bape Stars ain't hard to get either."
No.
I mean, they're not easy to get either. So
Yeah.
that argument from a fan perspective don't work. The same thing with fans of Cool Kai. Them shoes ain't easy to get.
No,
They're
they're not.
more expensive. They're not easy to get. So I don't like to hear that argument. As far as designs and colorways, that kind of is what it is. We talked about laziness earlier in the podcast. You can call it what you want to call it. That's a matter of opinion.
Yep.
But when it comes to, if I had a successful product and I owned a patent for it, and somebody was out there biting my stuff and replicating my stuff, I wouldn't like it either.
Of course you wouldn't,
And
because
you
basically,
and no one out there would either.
I can't sit here and disagree with you, because like let's just be honest, we put so much hard work and effort into this podcast and everything we do. If somebody actually started biting from us and biting our ideas, because of we kind of come out with a lot of ideas on this podcast from time to time, and we have all these different segments that we do, where like the sneaker core, public opinion, like loose shoes are dump, which loose shoes dump has been done in different kind of realms in different ways, but nobody really does sneaker core, nobody does the dog pound, but you can say there's different aspects that kind of cover it anyway. But if somebody started doing the same things as we do, we'll be kind of like obligated to kind of say, you know what, you need to cease and desist, because at the end of the day, it's our intellectual property and hard work and effort that actually got us to come up with these ideas. So I can understand, I can understand why they're going after people that have copied their designs. I can understand some of the design aspects are amazing, and a lot of people vibe with them and they want to rock different aspirations of them. But like Nike can do what they want because that's their design.
They own it.
They own it. They patented it. They reinforced that patent. They renewed it. So it's the matter of fact that a lot of people are saying because they've renewed the Air Force One design pattern that they're going after Bape. No. They let Bape slide in the early 2000s, and the massive lesson learned from that is, don't let nobody slide on you now.
Look, Cool Kai slid too. John Geiger slid for a while. Warren Lotus slid for a while.
Yeah, and now Nike woken up.
All these companies and entities and different creators, they all slid for a period of time. It's just Bape has been sliding for the longest amount of time.
Yo, Jackie's going up that beanstalk as high as he can, but that sleeping giant is gonna wake up and stomp his ass. That's all I'm saying.
And that's exactly what Nike is, that giant, and this time Jack ain't gonna win. You know what I'm saying?
You guys have just woken up that sleeping giant. They've let you slide into everybody's DM for as long as you want, but now they're like, no, I'm taking back that reign. Give me back those DMs. I want that clout. That's all exactly. I'm saying. Like that, they want that heat. I think they'll be going after a lot more people. Look, watch the next couple of years. They'll be going after more and more people. I don't think they care about how much money the court cases are going to cost them. They've got the financial resource to back their actual actions up anyway. So I just, bro, it's a bad time for anybody that's copied Nike, because even a little bit of that change of that design is going to knock your brand.
Exactly.
Ooh, that was an interesting subject, bro, because we got another main topic today. It's hashtag burn down the barn, and you've been hearing it from us for the last couple of weeks. Bro, do you want to enlighten us a bit with this topic? Because I think we wanted to bring this up last week or the last couple of podcasts, but it's good to talk about it now.
Yeah, so recently I saw a notification for the official pictures of the Jordan women's Jordan 4 Seafoam.
Yeah.
And I click the notification, I look at the pictures, and I see in the top of the comment section, the third comment from the top was this guy, Dustin. His comment was, I call these Jordan 4 retro kitchens.
Yo.
So let me say this.
Okay.
I did a deep dive on this guy's Twitter feed, and I didn't see anything egregious.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything racist, anything sexist, anything toxic. But this comment strikes me as toxic.
Yep.
Because I can't figure out why he would say this is the Jordan 4 kitchens, other than the fact that it's a women's shoe.
Women's exclusive,
and
exactly.
Strictly because we know when we see women's exclusive colorways, especially on popular silhouettes, and Jordan 4 is arguably the most popular retro silhouette right now.
But at this moment in time, yeah.
For him to say this is the Jordan 4 retro kitchens, like, bro, you being toxic now because your foot is probably too big to be able to get a pair of these and you like them.
Yep.
And so you let your disappointment in women's size turn into toxic masculinity.
Yep.
Which is not new.
No.
However, we are in a male-dominated culture in the sneaker culture.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The majority of the sneaker community is men and boys. Yep. We just recently had the situation at Nike where some women came out and filed lawsuits against their male coworkers for harassment, sexual harassment.
Yep.
I have heard personal accounts from nameless, and I'm saying nameless for a reason, not that they are nameless. But we have. I'm pretty sure you've seen and heard things too from our female sneakerhead friends and associates, where toxic masculinity is alive and well in the sneaker community. I've seen it in line. I've seen it in store. I've seen it online as well.
I'm gonna say I've heard it firsthand. I was on a live on Instagram where a person that we shall not name, and he basically turned around and said, women make sneakers more expensive. And I was flabbergasted by that. And I'm like, no. Hype beasts and people that resell, that dictate the price, make sneakers expensive. Because his analogy of that situation was women will spend whatever much money on sneakers because they want to. No, bro. No.
Because they want to.
What kind of backwards thinking is that? I don't understand why somebody in that remit with that amount of followers would say that.
Nobody wants to spend. We don't even want to spend retail. We want them to be less than what they are actually at retail.
And you know what? It's really easy. And the whole concept was, you know what? The environment of sneakers was changing. Sneakers were becoming more popular. Sneakers were becoming more of a commodity. And we're talking about the early 2000s, 2018 onwards. When sneakers were starting to pick up in a lot of places around the world as well, because they weren't easier to get. So it was easy to blame the new influx of female sneakers on that, but it's not. It's the fact that the brands were making it more harder to get these sneakers and more exclusive and all of that stuff. But it's easy to blame somebody that wasn't there in the 2000s. Was a few numbers of female sneakers that were actually picking up sneakers in the 2000s to actually now blame them on a new segment of the sneaker community. You can't blame female sneakers for increasing the price of sneakers. You can't.
It don't make sense, bro. That
It doesn't.
Okay, so bruh, that to me sounds like the lashing out of a lame.
Yeah, of course it does.
Because you don't have the mental capacity to one understand, therefore project and communicate with women in a way that's appealing to them.
Yeah,
that makes you a lame. It does.
Of course it does. Like I just like I don't. I'm not. Everybody is as a person at the end of the day that needs to be respected. Be it if you're a little kid, if you're an adult, be if you're an elderly, be if you whatever gender you are. It's to me blaming somebody harassment as well. We're talking about harassment in its full form, be it whatever background you're from, is not on. This is why the hashtag burn down the barn exists, because if that goes on, and this is why the shoe dog pound exists, because that activity needs to go into the shoe dog pound, because you have no right to DM somebody and bully them, and that's a form of harassment. That's a form of that's misogyny. That's the best thing, and and unfortunately, it's coming from a lot of guys, from what we're hearing.
Yeah, people become slaves to devices that they feel empower them and embolden them to act out of character.
Yep.
What in some cases not so much out of character, but it magnifies who they really are inside.
Yeah, there's two things.
Listen, I was good with the women before sneakers. I'm still good with the women now that I got sneakers. And if all my sneakers, Lord forbid, burn down in a house fire, I'm
Burn
gonna
down the
still be
barn.
good with the women because I'm me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, of course, we all want to be attractive on the outside.
Yeah.
As far as fashion, style, and hygiene, of course. But that's not the end all be all. Being the type of person that you are is going to attract or not attract the people that you want to have around you, and also the people that you want to have significant relationships with.
Yeah. Easy
people using these, and these nasty dudes out here, bro, trying to use sneakers, trying to use it's just like it's the same. It's clout. People try to use clout for what, and some women go for that. Some don't.
Yep.
If they go for it, it's because they choose to go for it. When they are not choosing to go for it, you trying to force it and or take the rejection so negatively to where you then start to attack and you start to try to bully and belittle and all. Like, bro, it's not. And even if you're not doing whatever it is you're doing to try to get women, just not treating women equally in whatever space that you're in is just not cool, bro. Like I grew up with a mama and a sister in the house with me, aunties, grandmas, female cousins. I grew up being chivalrous. I grew up being taught to open doors and be nice to women. Don't fight girls. I've never called a woman negative expletive to her face. Sure, you might get mad and you'll say it in your head or behind closed doors or whatever, but bro, it's being toxic, being nasty, and being lame out in public is becoming more and more of a thing, and it's disgusting to me, bro.
Yeah, you know where it's originated from. Like, I'm gonna to give you a prime example of the confidence that people bring into the reality of the world now, because people so used to sitting behind the keyboards and typing up and saying stuff and like kind of getting that confidence. Now they think it's okay to actually do it in the real world. The real world will slap you back down to the hard concrete and make and bury you if you're not careful, because at the end of the day, not a lot of people will tolerate that kind of harassment, and the harassment doesn't belong in any forms of community. Gatekeeping, harassment, and any forms of abuse do not belong in the sneaker community or any community whatsoever. If you think somebody, be it any gender, be it male, female, any gender, right? If you feel that the opposite gender doesn't deserve something because of their gender, then you really need to check yourself and correct yourself, because everybody has a right to whatever they want to do. You cannot, like we said, you cannot tell people what to do and how to do it. And you can't slide into people's DMs because of this clout and that clout, and you got this clout and you want to use that clout for your own mischievous kinds of ways. You can't do that. You got to think of it. You're using power, your power and your influence to abuse people. That's not right, bro, at all, ever in life.
Yeah, I've seen and heard accounts of men trying to bully and intimidate women out of their spots in line. I've seen women be afraid to even want to be in line for those same reasons. I got a wife, bro. My wife has gone to line up without me, and thankfully, the few times that she did, I had my brother or Retro Rick was there, and they looked out for her. Unknowingly to other people in line, because of the fairness that we like to practice. She was in whatever spot she was in. Rod was there. Rod saw her. Rick saw her, offered her, you want to come up here? And she go, nah. This is where I'm at in line. This is where I'm going to be in line.
Yep. This is one of the main reasons why our platform is Straight to the Toe on Instagram has got that kind of aspect to introducing new female sneakerheads, having that discussion. I've met a lot of amazing female sneakerheads. I try and help them up as much as possible as well. Especially with men releases, obviously every other sneaker is a male's release sneaker. So I try to help them as much as possible, give them as advice much as possible, give them that positive energy, make this space open for them to come into and talk. I've met them. I've met a couple of them. They're amazing people. So a lot of the female sneakers I'm talking about have actually come to my aid in certain circumstances because of the scenarios that I've actually been in over the last 5 years. So from that aspect alone, I have so much respect for anybody that has that positive drive and that attitude and that narrative to kind of make that change in open spaces for people. And that's what this platform's about. That's what our platform's about.
Yeah. In general, and we haven't had a guest on in a while, but when we were frequently, I think at one point we was having a guest like every other show. That's why we made sure we wanted to have Sneaks. Shout out to her. We wanted to have Jenny. Shout out to her. It wasn't about because they're women. It's not about pandering. It's not. It's about inclusion. It's about the fact that we communicate with them on a regular basis. We see their passion. We have conversations with them, and we understand as sneakerheads each other. Let me tell you, beings, we treat them the way that we like to be treated.
I'm going to say one thing to you, right? You said it. You hit the nail on the head. Drop the gender, right? And I know there's an issue with female sneakerheads and the smaller size gangs and all the smaller size feet and all of that stuff with normal releases. That needs to change. Nike needs to address that. We understand that movement. What I'm all happy for, but drop the gender. What are they, bro? They're fellow sneakerheads. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all you need to know. It doesn't matter what their gender is, bro. They're fellow sneakerheads, and if you don't respect your fellow sneakerheads, then you gotta check yourself and correct yourself.
I wouldn't care if it was a gay man, a gay woman, or a straight woman, straight man. We relate to being sneakerheads.
That's the passion. That's where the passion comes from. That's what it's all about.
Is. That's what it is. If we happen to have a gay male sneakerhead that related to us and became a part of our immediate group, guess what? At some point, they're going to be on the podcast.
Of course they are.
Just like,
why not?
Bro, Nayla Swoosh, shout out to Nayla Swoosh. She barely speak English, bro. But guess what? When I post, she hit the button. Every time.
Exactly.
And I tried to have a conversation with her about the one. It was actually the
is she from France?
Yeah, she's French.
Yeah, she's such a lovely person. Like, if she likes everything I post, I try to like everything she posts because she's such an amazing. And the language barrier is so different that she can't understand what I'm trying to say sometimes. And,
bro, I tried to have a conversation with her about the Air Max. Is the 270 React Bauhaus.
Yeah.
Because she has that shoe too. So she posted it. And I said something to the effect of, that's one of the most underrated Air Max silhouettes, colorway, blah, blah, blah. And she said, my English not good, such and such. And most of the time it's just thumbs up and smiley faces.
Don't lie. You actually went to Google Translate to translate your script.
No.
You should have. That would have been quite funny.
I didn't. But because it was a conversation in the comments. I made a comment. And she just sent back thumbs up and smiling emojis. Like she probably didn't understand what I was saying for real. I mean, you can translate on Instagram, so there's that. But as far as having deeper conversations, it's not really gonna happen.
It's
same thing. Hustlena, shout out to Hustlena.
Oh yes, she's
another
amazing.
female sneaker.
We need to try to get her on. We need to try to get her home one day. She's really busy as well.
I know she is, and she I know she do a lot with fashion and stuff, but she she made a post one day this week, and I hit the like button on it because she doesn't post as frequently as she used to for whatever reason. So I liked the post, and next thing you know, I got likes on like my last 15 posts because she hadn't been on Instagram. When she sees that you like her post, she gonna go back and respond and react to everything that you posted, bro,
Yeah.
because she's just cool like that.
Yeah, I talked. I need to reach out to her. I talked to her on regular. I think she's moving. She was moving a lot recently, so she hasn't got consistency. So that's why. But last time I actually talked to her was last year or the year before. No, not on a proper. I'm talking, but like likes and stuff like that. She sent me a reel, for Crep Protect, and I was like, okay, cool. Do you want me to edit this for you? And she goes, yeah, you can. And I just sent her an edit. Sent her an edit. And sent it back to her, and she posted it, which is amazing. But this is what we're talking about: helping excel people. Is helping create and do amazing ideas, and keep helping people to excel. That's what being true passion for something is. It's not using that passion. So I'm going to say one thing: stop trashing our passion for fashion. Stop trashing it with this monstrosity behavior, this bad behavior. It's
Yeah,
not on. It's not on at the
also,
moment.
I want to give a shout out to Jamie Love Sneakers. Jamie is a huge supporter of pretty much everything I do. So I want to shout out Jamie too. She's a member of the Retro Gang. I think she's still a moderator for Rick when he does his Instagram lives and some when he goes live on YouTube and stuff. So shout out to Jamie too. Shout out to all the female sneakerheads that support us, even the ones that we do have conversations and relationships with. We not here for none of that foolishness.
Yep.
And we're not gonna tolerate it either. I'm not into as bad as I want to. I'm not gonna call out anybody by name or any situations specifically to protect these people that may not want to put that dirty laundry out there, but our platform will always be open to whoever that we feel we want it to be open to. That's about positivity and people that share the passion with us.
Yep.
And that's that.
Exactly that, bro. Exactly that, bro. Don't, like I said, don't trash our passion for fashion with your bad behavior. And guys, if you ever are in that, if you are currently being bullied or are currently being harassed, please reach out to somebody that you trust, or please reach out to us, and we'll try and sort it out, because this stuff can't go on. Like in realism terms, that we're so passionate about, bro. We're so passionate about sneakers. We end up at 2 o'clock in the morning talking to each other about this and that on occasions. That's the amount of passion that we bring to this. I wouldn't do half the things I did if I wasn't passionate about it, and I wouldn't do half the things I do now if I wasn't about helping people out as much as possible. And I know recently the hard work is actually shown some light, which is great, because obviously I was able to do some of this campaign with Offspring, and I know they reached out again for something else, which I'll hopefully tell you about in the future. But it's not all about that. It's about helping others get to the same level or even higher than you are. And it's never about jealousy, never about envy. It's all about helping excel people and help people through the circumstances they are, especially harassment and bullying. That's it, bro.
Yeah, when I don't play them games and I don't respect it, I don't tolerate it. If I find out that that's what you're about, I might not say nothing to you, but you might as well not even exist to me. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't come try to talk to me about nothing. I'm not with it. And that go for everybody. That go for all y'all. Even the toxic women that try to use whatever it is to get to where they're trying to be at. I ain't with that neither. You can't offer me nothing for sneakers, but some good conversation.
Yeah. Exactly that, bro.
We know there's another side to it too. So
there's always a flip side. There's always a flip side to every single element to it, because at the end of the day, there is pros and cons on both sides. There's always going to be bad people on both sides. So you got to weigh up the good with the bad. You got to always weigh up the consistency. You always got to keep it consistent, and that's what it's all about, bro. It's just all about. So hashtag burn down the barn is a movement that we're creating to eradicate all of this misbehavior, this misogyny from the male side, this whatever you want to call it from all the other aspects. Burn down the barn, put all of that in the dog pound, put it in the barn, burn it down, because that behavior doesn't belong in this element at all, bro.
Facts. Big facts.
So now, shall we go to our most famous popular segment, bro?
When you got nothing else
Let's go. Exactly.
When resale is too high.
Damn resellers.
Order.
When hype beats go too far.
These damn hype beasts.
Order in the court. Order.
The back door opens.
Guilty.
It's time for
Order in the court.
the sneaker court of public
Guilty.
opinion.
Guilty. Okay, cool. Welcome to the Sneaker Court of Public Opinion with me, Judge Public Opinion, and obviously executioner. What have you got today for your secret execution weapon of choice, bro?
You know what? I forgot. I'm guilty.
Guilty charges to Q for forgetting his weapon of choice because he can't condemn him. All right, cool. The first one I really want to bring today, right, is I've been seeing a lot of Foot Patrol raffles being done. So I'm taking Foot Patrol on to Sneaker Court Public Opinion because the public opinion don't seem real good to you at the moment because you are stocking sneakers. I'm restocking sneakers, which I heard quantity levels of 8 per restock on the Lost and Founds. I've heard 8 to 9 on the Travis Scott Jordan 1 low Black Phantoms. I've also seen secret links to open up the raffles. You're hiding seeking some of these sneakers. You don't open up the raffles. I don't know, bro, but it seems very, very. It seems to me like they want more traction on their app. And this is the way that you're doing it. It doesn't seem like it's the legit raffle. Even if it's a legit raffle, the stock numbers don't reflect it from what I'm hearing. And obviously, it's all assumptions. But I'm taking you to court because this is cap, bro. I just feel it's cap. I just feel it's so much cap that it needs to be discussed and taken to court. Because if your stock level is really low, why don't you just do a giveaway? Or a open raffle just dictating the stock numbers, or even first come first serve, or like you could even do something like
Exclusive access,
or you can do a 100th customer of the day giveaway that they get a chance to get this sneaker. Like, why are you raffling off 5 to 8 sneakers on your app when you got thousands of people trying to get on it and do raffles? That's just pointless. In reality, bro, it's pointless. And then the Black Phantom raffle that they did a couple of weeks back, that was, you had to know how to access the raffle by a link, bro. They went from hiding the raffles in their stories so that you have to click it to open the raffles to have access to not even having the stories anymore, but having links to them. And I had to be honest, I actually showed everybody how to do it because I was like, this is not on. I put it on my TikTok and I let everybody access it because I thought, you know what? I want everybody to have a chance of getting them. Because what's the point of hiding it in a link that some Twitter accounts got that you have to copy and paste it and open? What is going on there, bro? That's cap, bro. Are you actually kind of seconding this segment to the people that know that can actually get the raffle, which, like, i.e., the back door? Is this the new back door that you got? Like, really, seriously, Foot Patrol, I'm putting you on trial here because public opinion right this moment in time ain't looking good for you guys. Really not looking good for you guys.
It seems like it's really fishy. It seemed real cap, bro. Like, I mean, if you're only getting 8, 10 pairs, or like, I mean, if you're getting single digit pairs, you could come up with a way. As many releases as we get all the time, especially on retros, you can figure something out. Like, you just do first come. Tell people that you ain't got that many. Do exclusive
Don't
access.
you know what? I wouldn't even be unhappy if the pairs you had left over you actually gave to influencers that are big influencers to promote, or big influencers to give them like a chance to get it, or even to promote your company. I wouldn't be even unhappy about that, because you're being honest about what you did with them. What I'm unhappy about is you hiding those sneakers from everybody. Your stock numbers are so low that like 100,000 people might go in for the sneaker, knowing that their chances of getting that sneaker and tying up their money in their bank accounts is so high that it's no point playing for them.
Exactly. Especially when you're doing a pre-charge on your raffles, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. People probably, I guarantee you, people have tied up their money, the money that they may have set aside just for this sneaker, thinking that they have a chance to get it on this raffle, and they tie up their bank account, and it's too late for them to get it somewhere else where they could have had a better chance because they believe in your company and your BS practices. That's
Yeah.
cool. Just do is if you're getting that small amount of pairs, just do exclusive access and get it over with. That'll eliminate creating a bad reputation for yourself. That'll eliminate having lines and commotion around the release. It would just be better in general, and it would keep you out of the court of public opinion.
Yeah, exactly. The worst thing about it was them hiding the link to the raffle somewhere that nobody knew, and eventually I got the link from a couple of people on TikTok and on the Twitter accounts. I was able to get the link, which is great because I was able to distribute to the masses that wanted it. A lot of people, and a lot of people reached out and said, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that," blah blah blah. And I said, I don't gatekeep. If you want it, you want it. You want to go in it for it. You want to go in for it. Stock levels were really low, obviously. But from them going to just issuing a normal raffle, and they did this with the Lost and Founds earlier this year. They did it with the Lost and Founds, bro. And then last year, I mean, you had to go and look for the Lost and Found raffle to actually apply for it. And they went from that to actually hiding the raffle totally from people because you had to have a link to open up. So, bro, if this is not cap on cap on cap on cap that deserves to be eradicated, I can't see a better. Your opinion in the public eye at the moment is bad for your raffles. Nobody likes your raffles. Let's just be honest. Everybody thinks they're gonna take an L on your raffles. Let's be honest, because that's that bad. Because they don't trust the process anymore. So either you fix up or you lose out. That's what I'm saying. So on this sneaker court of public opinion, bro, Foot Patrol, I'm gonna say one word to you guys. Guilty, because your bad reputation is preceding you at this moment in time. Fix up or lose out.
Horrible.
What's their judgment, bro? What's their judgment? What do you want to give them?
I think they need to just not be able to get certain pairs. They should not have access to Travis Scott's or Lost and Founds or any other hype collab or hype retros that come around. They just shouldn't have access to them if they're going to do this type of stuff because it's not fair.
Ironically, the way things are moving with Nike going direct to customer a lot more, that could potentially happen. And ironically, I know Foot Patrol's link with JD, Size's link with JD. Mm-hmm. So I know that could potentially happen, bro. Because as soon as you switch it from direct to customer, these are the first companies that will end up losing out.
You know what makes that even worse? JD Sports and Finish Line in the US, don't do raffles. They do exclusive access.
All right, swiftly moving on. We're not going to talk about it because we're going to probably end up talking about it for a long time. What is your second court case on the docket? Because I know you want to bring this up.
So, along the same lines, we want to take now Foot Locker to court. This is from Samir L. at the Foot Locker support. This is an email that was sent to a customer. Thank you for reaching us back. Your account was shut down due to a breach of the terms and conditions of the Flex program. We are not obligated to provide any further details, and the decision is final and binding. Due to the nature of our business, I can't read. We are not able to provide additional details on our investigation process and methods. Have a great day, they say. Sincerely, Foot Locker. Why did this happen? Because the guy saved up 2 million points and tried to redeem the points for AirPods.
Oh.
So for those that aren't familiar with the Flex program, the Flex program is a point system that Foot Locker and its subsidiaries have. Subsidiaries at this point, because there's no more East Bay, there's no more Foot Action. So it's Foot Locker Champs and Kids Foot Locker. And also WSS, but WSS is not on the Flex program. You can use your points for head starts on raffles, meaning you get a better chance than people who don't use head starts of winning the raffles. But there are also discounts that you can cash out your points for, sweepstakes that you can enter using your points. You can use them for coupons, free shipping, and prizes as well. It's stuff ranging from keychains all the way up to AirPods. And it seems like because this guy decided to cash out his 2 million points for AirPods, Foot Locker said, nope, no AirPods for you. We're going to ban your account.
So because he's earned the points, by the way, that's a lot of money as well. That's a lot of money he's invested into Foot Locker.
No,
because he got the points. Now and he wants to get the prize. I've
been on the Flex program for a couple of years. Let me pull up my account. And I've spent a lot of money with Foot Locker. I'm up to 643,000. No. My points balance is 307,000 in about 2 years.
So it is. If you really think about it, on your account alone, you haven't even hit 500,000, and you've been on there 2 years.
I probably would be up to 500,000, but I use my points on head starts on a lot of raffles that I don't win because it's very hard to win Foot Locker raffles.
So let's just say let's just say 500,000 is 2 years. That's 8 years, bro.
So look, on his account. The current rewards that you can cash in. There's a sweepstakes for a vacation at the Hard Rock Casino and Resort in Punta Cana, Mexico. There's a choose your shoe sweepstakes that include Jordan 7 Cardinals, Jordan 11 Cherries, Jordan 5 Gore-Tex, and New Balance 990s. There's a sweepstakes with Vans Skate High Gore-Tex. There's a sweepstakes for $1,000 Flex gift card. You can cash in 50,000 points for a Foot Locker trucker hat. No, thank you. You can cash in 75,000 points for some Foot Locker vintage socks. No, thank you. 80,000 for a Foot Locker t-shirt, 100,000 for a long sleeve Foot Locker t-shirt, 130,000 for a vintage Foot Locker hoodie. No, thank you. SoundCloud Go plus free trial for 2,000 points. No, thank you. Gatorade bottles for 20,000 points. No, thank you. Bags, a mini basketball set, cards, stance socks,
So basically, what you're saying, bro, is
movie tickets, crep protects.
So basically, what you're saying to me, bro, is that's false advertisement. So basically, what you're saying, bro, is it's fraud.
That's what it look. And I'm not seeing AirPods on here, but I know I've seen them before. You can cash in. There's a Bluetooth turntable, supposedly, and I'm gonna show y'all this. 800,000 points. Focus now. 800,000 points for a Bluetooth turntable.
So the big question is then, and this is a big question, is has anybody actually ever won from Foot Locker or actually claimed points and got any of this stuff from Foot Locker? I've never seen it, bro. Have you?
Me neither. I have not. And I'm not interested in any of the prizes that they offering. So I wouldn't find out. However, this story has me very interested.
Yeah, I think I don't like the fact that they've stated on that we ain't going to give you no justification.
None.
Of why. No further details are provided for this decision, and this decision is final. I don't like that, because you need to give a reason why your count was taken away. You need to give a reason why you thought it was okay to take your count away, because, bro, that is sus, bro. That is proper sus. And on that note, guys, I'm just going to say this off the back of this email, bro. Foot Locker, you're guilty for some really, really, really sus behavior, and for taking away somebody's account who's got 2 million points, and he wanted to claim some AirPods that you probably said were okay for him to claim. So I think we need to do better research. But this time, in this time, you're looking really sus. I'm going to say half guilty until we get more evidence, bro. What's your judgment on that?
No, bro. This type of vague, because this is similar to what happened to me with size when they canceled my Jordan 2 order. Yeah, they didn't give me a reason.
That's not yo. Consumers are always right. Give us what we want. Basically, tell us what we did wrong so we can correct it for the future.
Bro,
that's all I'm saying.
If you bought enough stuff, because once you sign up for the Flex program, anytime you buy something logged into your account, it counts for points going towards your Flex. So why can't I use my points to redeem these prizes that y'all have up here?
On just that in total, bro, I can do what Foot Locker does. I can tell you can win a car for 5 million points. Doesn't mean it's gonna be there. That's fraud, bro. That's fraud. You're spending all of this money for points out of necessity to get these points for early access. How do we know early access even is a thing for Foot Locker? That's the question now, bro. So we will find out more research for you guys. I know we got research. For the guy that we had the email last week about the fact that what was that again?
Oh no, Ralph Kicks. He reported this story. And by the way, I reached out to Ralph Kicks behind that previous case. He said he just accepted the refund. Yeah. And when I asked him about the email, he never responded.
Okay. So that's a bit sus now. So on that, guys, more conclusions will be drawn hopefully next week. We'll do more research, work out what the action, if this is legitimate, because obviously it's easy to doctor an email. Let's just work out if this is legitimate, first of all. This is why I said half gear, because if this is correct, Foot Locker, you're moving sus out here. Simple as.
Very, very sus.
Exactly.
When resale is too high.
Damn resellers.
Order.
When hype beats go too far.
These damn hype beasts.
Order in the court. Order.
The back door opens.
Guilty.
It's time for
Order in the court.
the sneaker court of public
Guilty.
opinion.
So yeah, that clarification, a bit of a clarification. That email was not via Ralph Kicks. He was reposting it from another guy's page. I'm actually on that guy's page right now trying to find that post because
I'd rather report facts than fiction. This is why some of these like last couple of court cases have been, let's just go do some research because we have to trust the sources that we're given, and it's important to always kind of go with facts rather than fiction. But yes, this was the podcast for episode number 53, guys. Dumb fork goofy shirt. Yes, there's some really dumb fork stuff going out here and some goofy shirt being played. So unfortunately that's been the case of the last couple of weeks. I know it's January, guys. I know it's very quiet season. I know the rumors are flinging about. January is always like this. So welcome to the sneaker world where January is a folk tale and then everything else afterwards is real. So this is how it always is, bro. We've been in the game so long that we know the situations when we see the situations. This is why we saw gammas and what do you call it, legend blues being said in the last year to this year, and they got dropped in an instant. This is why the DMP and then the Neapolitan 11s have been forecasted. That could be all a joke by the time February, March comes around. You never know with the sneaker game, bro.
yeah, we'll see, man. Hopefully, most of the stuff that we are seeing and hearing will have some type of results on moving forward. But because we know what's coming next month, we know what's coming in March. Not everything, but we know the big releases. We know we got the reimagined 3s coming. We got playoff 13s. We got UNC 5s coming. So it's about to start heating up for real.
Yo, bro, before I'm holding the mic for a reason. I'm just saying, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the sneaker game, welcome to the sneaker game.
Yeah.
Okay. On that note, count us down, bro, because it's time we got out of it and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yo, we appreciate all y'all once again for watching, subscribing to our channels, following us on IG, responding to us, leaving comments, hitting the share button as well, the share button as well. Shout out to everybody that's listening on all the audio platforms. We appreciate y'all, all the bros, all the sisters, all the family.
Yep.
We hope all y'all have a great day, great month, and continue to roll 2023, having a great year. And hopefully everybody can cop all the sneakers they like, because everybody deserves to get the sneakers that they want. For TJ, for me, Shoot Dog Podcast, episode 53.
Peace out, guys. Peace.